Hey everyone, this is Aspie and you're watching The Incredible Aspie, and welcome back to another episode of Aspie Horrible Streams. It's been a long time since I've seen you, huh? Oh, I got a new email. Let me go check that real fast. All right. Looks like we're good. All right. So how y'all been? It's been a very long time since I've done one of these streams. Hopefully somebody else will get in here so I'm not in here all alone. So let's talk about what's been going on. So I had that video, where I checked in with everybody, told them that I had been very busy with college. Well, now I'm off on my break, and breaks are very long when you're in college. Like a month, I got like a month and a half off. You get 15 weeks of, having your balls busted in, and you finally get to have a break off. It's kind of nice. 30 weeks out of the year you're in school, and that's 16, and that's not counting finals week and all the other weeks. So that's a pretty interesting time. Yeah. Nobody's here yet. I'll be dang. Well, I guess nobody expected me to be streaming again. Is this public? Let me see here. Is anybody watching this? Nobody's watching this at the moment. I can see, but I'll just assume somebody is. So tell me how y'all been doing. How have you been up to? So apparently, what is there to talk about? Impeachment? I should have known that impeachment would happen eventually. I mean, the Democrats have been, absolutely just they're so hell bent on, destroying Trump. And listen, if you don't like Trump, that it's perfectly fine. But if you just, hey, there's nobody here. Jeez, there's absolutely not a single person's here yet. Dang. Hey. Anyway, I might need to share this out. Is anybody? All right, I'm going to try out some of the features here. All right, nobody's in here yet. That's perfectly fine. Screen share. Might want to try out something new here. All right. Can I see what this looks like here? Share screen. There we go. Try to screen share here. Your entire screen application window. That looks gay. That looks good. All right. It's kind of slow here. Yeah. Screen sharing was canceling. Yeah, I'm having trouble trying to figure this stuff out, all this crap out. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's watching this anyway. It doesn't really matter. It's 5 o'clock. I guess everybody's just getting off work, and they don't exactly want to watch an autistic kid start screeching on about everything. I know what I can do. Make a little. Oh, hey, Red Feather, how you doing? It's been a while. Can you share this out so other people can see this, please? Thank you. It's been a very long time since I've talked to everybody. Yeah. I just never do these streams because I always considered myself really bad at them, because I'm really bad at talking on the fly. But it takes some practice. I'm starting to get better at it. I might twitch every now and then, but it's coming along. What is there to talk about? Oh yeah, there's some to talk about the. I should probably talk about. I'm not going to talk about what I do for a living mostly. I'm not going to tell you the exact business, but I deliver pizza. It's kind of an odd job, sure, and it's sort of odd. It's pizza delivery. It's a very sort of menial job. And the thing is back in the olden days when you used to deliver pizza, you used to wait in chairs in the back until it was your turn to pizza. Now, because of the minimum wage laws here in the state, you can probably guess what state. I'm not going to tell you what state I am in, but it's pretty. It's fine. I'm just going to give it Southern California. I'm in Southern California. I'm not going to give you the exact city location, but it's somewhere around that area, and it is just. It is absolute. The minimum wage laws make it to where you got to do more than just until you just have them, deliver the pizza to people's houses. Now you got to, cook. Now you got to do the make line. You got to clean. You got to do you got to work the oven. You got to be able to do everything because of the minimum wage laws here in California. And it oftentimes I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, it does keep you from getting bored, you know. The lazy person would probably want to be able just to sit back and stay on their phone until it was their turn. And it's delivering pizza isn't exactly the hardest work, you know. I mean, you go off and you know, take your pizza down to the location wherever it is. But sorry to hear you're in California. I know. I saw a meme, a Doge meme, where he was crying, and the Doge memes, and the guy said, and the caption said, "I just heard that California is a real place and that people choose to live there." And I can share in that sentiment. I mean, it's absolutely just. I mean, California, it's not horrible. I mean, everything. I mean, if you just live in America, you're living much better than most parts of the world, but California is probably thank you for sharing that on Discord. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Red Feather. Yeah, everybody must just be getting off of work, or must be busy, or one thing or the other. Be nice. But yeah, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, I was talking about my my run as a pizza delivery guy. Well, while I was a pizza delivery guy I am still a pizza delivery guy, and because of the minimum wage laws, I now have to do everything. In fact, my manager just the other day told me that the minimum wage is going from $12 to $13. So she expects me to do more, and I couldn't even ask. Me and my mother are going, you know, we're going skiing here. But I actually, instead of having just the manager giving me the days off, I now had to go. It was the actual store that had to give me the days off. I had to go through the entire system, which I think is kind of, kind of bunk. But it just shows you. People say, "Oh, the minimum wage won't have all these bad effects," but it actually does. I can recall one of my economics teachers telling me that the minimum wage, while it has two effects, it only has two real effects. One, it does not lower poverty rates, but people did not lose their jobs. Now, what this tells you is that while it did not help bring people out of poverty, it also did not help. People did not lose their jobs en masse. But what it also means is that the effects of the minimum wage will be more long-term. You could say that if somebody if somebody, you know, decides to quit, that position's not going to be available anymore. They're just going to give more time to the person who's actually doing that. You know, they're just going to give more time to the person who is working the job. And yes, it seems to me that they can raise the minimum wage, but they cut back hours. Yeah, I mean, I work part-time, so I don't really work more than maybe like 6 hours a night. Sometimes I'll do like 7 or even 8, but that's on like rare occasions. That's like when we're like super busy. And I'm like one of the better delivery people. You know, people like me, you know. I'm very well liked by everyone, so they keep me around. And I always I wish I could get some people in here, you know. It's kind of boring just being me, you know. There's only so long I can keep this up. Please, somebody come in. Somebody come in, please, for the love of Lord Jesus, let somebody come in. Anyway, I bet you're all or just Red Feather here, because you're the only one watching. There's only one person watching this in the entire thing. So yeah, my time as it's definitely, and to make things, you know, work about my job is I deliver actually to a rather let me get close here. I deliver to actually a rather sketchy part of the city I live in. And it's the east side of my city, and it's not exact, and it's really and it's somewhat dangerous over there. You know, I drive there. I sometimes have to deliver the back alleys, and I'm like, back alley to may the Lord have mercy on my soul. And there's some parts of town where I deliver the pizza, and it's just absolutely just scary, you know. Hey, Kyle Anderson, how you doing today? Good to see you. Good to see you've joined the chat here. Now you're the only person here. I think Red left. But anyway, yeah. But it always seemed what was I talking about again? Dang it. Yeah, I delivered to a bad part of town. I constantly see I've seen drug deals before. Yeah, I've honestly seen drug deals like a handful of times. And while it's kind of scary, it's also you just got to remember, don't look them in the eyes. Just keep looking away. And when you're the pizza delivery guy, it's very, very I think people have some more sort of bit of a respect for the pizza delivery guy. Like gang members know not to attack the pizza delivery guy because a lot of the time that's their food line. That's one of the food lines. They all like pizza and they know that if anything happens to me, they try to rob me, even though I don't have a lot of money on me because the store gives me like a $20 bank for every day, when I deliver pizza. But at the same time, it's like very, very, they know that if something happens to me, that they're going to cut off delivering to that area, or at least cut off delivering to a certain time of night. Like I remember 3 streets were banned past 6. And has anyone ever tried to steal pizza? Actually, yeah, one time. It was like I felt I was delivering to this one house, and it was like late at night, I don't know if it was winter time. I think it was summertime. So it had to be like, very late at night because it was nighttime. And I went to the house. The first thing that really scared me was that there was a pit bull out front on a chain. And even though it was on a chain, there's always that feeling like, that little chain is going to break eventually and you're going to become, dog food. But that did not help my nerves. And I started looking for the apartment complex. It was like a long row, and there's a long row of these apartment buildings. And I couldn't find the apartment, which I was looking for. And I was talking to this one guy, and he was like, yeah, I don't recognize that. And then somebody came out kind of from a back alleyway between the houses, and he said, oh, I know where she is. Follow me. And instantly I got that the hair stood up on the back of my neck, and I'm like, and even though I'm autistic and I don't understand certain social scenarios, I had a bad feeling about this. So I panicked and went back to my truck, and I actually called the girl on the phone, and I go, yeah, pizza delivery. And she goes, yeah, this is a gift card. And she's like, yeah, is it okay if I pay with gift cards? And I'm like, sorry, you're going to have to pay at the store. And she goes, ugh, and hangs up on me. I called her like 3 more times after that. Didn't answer. I also called the store, and they told me that if she doesn't call me after a certain number of calls, to just go back, which I eventually did. She didn't answer the phone. So one of my coworkers actually told me that's how they steal pizza. They'll give off like a dummy address, which is a real address, but nobody will live there. And they'll go there and they'll come out and try to steal the pizza from you. So yeah, that's pretty sketchy. I'm pretty sure. Good instinct. Yeah. I always say, when you're working on that side of town, you always have to be careful. I once actually talked to 2 police officers, and I told them the streets where I deliver pizza, and they actually said, oh, that's pretty dangerous. And I go, yeah, the manager doesn't let us carry pepper spray for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's a very dangerous part of town. And I told I told that to the police officers, and they said, well, she doesn't need to know. Which tells you how bad of a side of a town this is. I mean, if you're delivering pizza and the person and the cops are telling you not to go against your manager's orders, that's a pretty bad side of town. Yeah, it's pretty scary over there. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, my dad actually asked me at one point if I could do CC, but they wouldn't let me. CC stands for closed carry. And I mean, that's just hard. I mean, first off, the freaking, later I'm at work. All right, Connor. Connor Johnson's a friend of mine on Twitter. He constantly tries to talk to me about movies and stuff. And I'm not really up on that stuff. I actually don't watch a lot of films. I just spend my hours listening to music. Be honest with you, I listen to a lot of classical music, like Beethoven. Well, actually, not Beethoven. I listen to Mahler mostly. Mahler's Second Symphony, which is probably one of the most powerful pieces of music ever written. And Beethoven's Ninth, which is another great piece of music. And for the Fauré Requiem, which is another great piece of music. I like big works like that. I also like chamber works, and I'm actually a composer, so I compose some music. And I have great respect for people who can write stuff like that, who can write music that has such a emotional effect on people. Yeah, sounds like cops. Yeah, sounds like the cops wouldn't care if you had pepper spray. Exactly. I need pepper spray. I mean, I go to that side of town and I'm like, well, I really need some pepper spray. I like your music. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't put a lot of my compositions on online, mostly because it's sheet music, and I always put my real name on my sheet music, and I don't want to show that. So, I mean, I could hypothetically, just put audio with a pretty picture like Philip Daniels does. Philip Daniels is a composer friend of mine, but he what Philip Daniels does, he gets like a very artsy picture off of like Google Images or something, puts that on there. Excuse me. And then he puts the audio track underneath that. Yeah, uses MuseScore, which is it's free, which is the best part about it. It's actually a pretty good music notation software, but the MIDI is not good. I like his music too. Oh, you also like his music. That's nice to hear. That's near. By the way, Red Feather, are you a girl or a guy? I just want to ask that because you like to listen to music at work, like to listen to music. Of course they do. I remember one of my coworkers at the end of the night always starts playing music. Like when it gets really busy and stuff, she can't do it because I think it sort of hinders. Oh, you're a girl. I see. Nice. Well, nice to hear. So sorry, I don't know why that threw me off. But anyway, I think I heard from somewhere that you were a girl. Yeah. And I have to tell you I have a lot of female fans, surprisingly. I remember this one girl named Victoria. Yeah, Victoria. She was really pretty. She had like cheekbones up here. She was just maybe like slightly younger than me. But I remember it's okay, LOL, it's okay. Everyone thinks I'm a guy. Yeah, you can't really tell on the internet. I mean, just sometimes you can tell a little bit if somebody is a somebody. Oh, I gotta go see if a loudmouth is a loudmouth. Get in here. I need to see. I'm gonna tell him. Loudmouth, get in here. I'm lonely. I'm really lonely in here. It's no fun streaming when you have got nobody to talk to. You know what I mean? Is there like there's a broadcast studio right here. It's kind of cool because you can remove people from the stream if you'd like to. I mean, I actually really like this a lot better than Google Hangouts, surprisingly. I'm having a little trouble working it right now because I have never used this before. This is my first time. I just made the account, which took me like 2 seconds, of course. And of course, I am. I then went on there. I then went on here. Then I had a trouble figuring out because apparently you got to bring yourself into the stream like you do other things, And it's very, very. It's very. What's the word for it? So it's confusing for me at first, because you have all these different formats. You can change the way it looks from a specific point of view. Yeah, you have all these different settings right here, but I was having trouble with the streaming part of it. Yeah, of course. I wish I could show you guys so we could read some articles together. I mean, do some analysis. Of course, I'm not fast at that, but it's still something really good to do. Anybody else want to say something so I can keep talking? I'm starting to run out of things to talk about here. In a bit, I'm at my parents' house. Oh, that's completely fine. Yeah, Loudmouth is at his Loudmouth is with some family members, so he's not even. Hopefully, we can get maybe like S-Man or something in here. I've never used it. Yeah, All right, Red Feather, are you a YouTuber, or have you tried making YouTube videos? I mean, it's not really difficult. I mean, the whole point of YouTube is so you can make videos easy. I mean, YouTube has kind of gone off a cliff recently with, all the regulations and etc. By the way, this is not for children. This stream is no kiddies here. No kids. No kids watch this. I may not cuss, but fuck it. I'm gonna cuss one time just to make you show that this is not for kids. No copa, please. Thank you. My mom's gonna hate the fact that I cussed on live. I can't believe I did that. I'm a bad boy. Anyway, yeah. I should probably go over there and get my guitar and play a few songs for you guys until somebody else gets in here. How would you guys like that? I have a couple of parody songs. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. All right. I might have to set some stuff up real fast. Let me go get my guitar. I'll play like two or three songs for you. No kids under 18. You're not... Yeah, no kids, nobody under 18 here. Please. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my guitar so I can play some songs for you guys. Don't worry. I'm an okay singer. No. Oh, I'm telling on you. No! Don't tell my mother! I'm 23. She doesn't give a damn. I'll be right back. Oh, there. The camera's on, by the way, Mom. Be careful. All right. I'm going to play a few songs for everybody. Yeah. My parents don't exactly like my YouTube career, if you could call it a career itself. I might, if I ever become like a popular composer or something, I may have to get rid of this channel, because given the climate today, I think most people a long time ago would have had no problem with this, but because, everybody would, is so, politically correct and whatnot have you, it's, why don't I find some lyrics? All right, I know a good song to play. Yeah, this one. It's here we go. I love and song. I might need to scroll. I can't scroll with my feet, so I might have to scroll a few times. All right, here we go. Just tell me how it sounds. Probably not the best audio, but we'll do it all. Everything on our own. We don't need anything or anyone. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? I don't quite know how to say how I feel. Those three words are said too much. They're not enough. If I lay here, oh, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we told before we get too old. waste time chasing cars around our heads. I need your grace to remind me to find my own. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Just show me your golden that's bursting into life. All that I am and all that I ever was is here in your perfect eyes. They're all I can see. I don't know where, confused about how as well. Just know that these things will never change for us at all. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Thank you. Thank you. What'd you all think of that? I was... Howdy. You took away the lighter emoji, WTF. Oh, it's DarkCon. Let me add you to the stream, buddy. Hey, bro, what's going on?
What's up? Just baking cookies for a New Year's party that's happening tomorrow. So gonna be like putting down the phone every now and then, but
completely
celebrating
reasonable.
The end of what?
What? Celebrating the end of what?
I said you're celebrating the end of YouTube as we know it, huh?
Exactly. The end of YouTube. No. Anyway, we'll have. Can you stream on
YouTube as we know it? Anyway.
Let me see if I can. It's the end of YouTube as we know it. It's the end of YouTube as we know it. It's the end of YouTube as we know it. As we know it. And I don't feel fine. My pocket's empty. There are no ads. I'm joking. All right. Well, there's some videos. Some videos are getting ads, but they're starting to crack down on people. Exactly. What kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing that the algorithm has been working somewhat for the people that are like reviewing Star Wars and other mainstream Hollywood movies and kind of critical of them. Like YouTube has gotten better with recommending those types of videos, but at least that was some hearsay that I once heard. Can't remember who I heard it from. But anyway, yeah, it's quite sad too because the algorithm has been working real fine for me and my channel as of recently. I mean, they've been clocking in from about say 60 or to 80 and in the lows and as high as like say 200 on average at least. And my response video to Tim Horn, I do not know if you watched that response video. That got over
I watched
500.
I watched a little bit of it, but because of my horrible attention span, I forgot what exactly I had to do. I had to do something. When did you upload that? I think it was during school time, so I was like really busy, so I couldn't watch a lot of videos.
Yeah, it was like during October, and guess what? The guy did a response video to me. I don't know if you like was updated on that.
Yeah,
or not.
He did. Must have been was it as cringy as I can imagine it to be?
The dude called me an ANCAP and in double time insisted that I'm an ANCAP.
An ANCAP? He called you a freaking, anarcho-psycho because you disagreed with him on, Bernie or something. What did you disagree with him on?
I think it's unfair to call ANCAP psychos, but that aside, what I was disagreeing with him on, like, the original video was about, the original video that I was responding to was a response video that he done to PragerU, talking about how basically it can't be gay and conservative. And so I was responding to that amongst many other points.
All right.
Like, What?
Oh, sorry. You keep going.
Oh, I mean, that was about it. I mean, there's, of course, many other issues that was related to that video, but I care not enough to right now, anyways, to go over the entire video. I do plan on doing like a full response video to it, edited response video, because I was on a couple of live streams responding to his video. And I say a couple because his video was like over 1.5 hour long. He did like a 1.5 hour long response video to my 20-minute response video. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when it comes to, so the entire video was about how he believes gays cannot actually be conservative. Well, then again, plus
you're self-hating if you do claim to be gay and conservative, anyways.
Well, that's sort of gay in the real. I suppose that you can't be a. When I think about what I'm going to say here next, because I got to be careful here. You can. I do believe that you can be gay and conservative in what thing? Because I think it's hard to imagine that a gay man would be a trad con. Because like other than a libertarian, a gay man can be a libertarian, of course, because libertarians just believe in freedom. In fact, I think a lot of gays would prefer libertarianism over because leave me alone, let me live my life. But trad cons are the more religious people who believe that homosexuality is a something that should be quelled.
You're kind of breaking up slightly.
I'm breaking up. Shit, I think the bandwidth. We must be having troubles with the bandwidth. Am I still breaking up?
No, you're all right now, but yeah.
Let me turn up the gain here. Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
All right. I was trying. You were looking at me funny. You're like, I thought I was saying something wrong or something along those lines, but I guess I'm fine.
How dare you, SB? No, I can't. I will not ever. I cannot see myself hardly outright shaming you for some that you said, but yeah. And basically, my point was, and my belief is that you can be libertarian when it comes to sex and drug issues, for that matter, but at the same time, be conservative on most other issues.
Yeah, when it comes to, I try to separate my my political views from my religious views, because I do think it's somewhat. I do think I'm sort of nihilistic in the fact that I do think there's always society's on just a gradual way down. So it's really just sort of just worthless to try to. And also, I do believe people should just be largely left alone. I don't think homosexuals are really out to hurt anybody. Or some of the radical ones, some of the homosexuals are trying, to convert people to being gay, but people who but gays that just want to be left alone. I respect those. I personally think that homosexuality is not. I don't think it's exactly a smart lifestyle. I mean, a lot of homosexuals, especially in Los Angeles and stuff, tend to be very promiscuous. And there's a lot of STDs transmit among homosexuals a lot more than heterosexual couples, because heterosexual couples, women's genitals, I think, have some natural protections against STDs. There's like an acid or something that usually kills sperm during like certain parts of the month, but it's like, but women have natural protections, while a man's just garbage disposal doesn't exactly have any of that same protection. So yeah, unless you wear a condom or something, but even with that, there's some risks.
Hey, 1 second, I'll be back.
Oh, you're leaving? Oh, he's gone. Anybody else got anything to say? I don't get, what is this? I'm trying to figure this out. All right, there we go. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out, oh, you can show comments on here? Brandon Sikke. Brandon Straka is gay and recently turned conservative. Avi dang, you can show comments on here. That's kind of cool. Anyway, if there's ever a comment that I actually want to, highlight or something, I can show it. It's the blood transfer during homosexual intercourse that raises the risk. Yeah, of course, because a lot like HIV and stuff is transmitted through blood, and there's a lot of blood. He's the walk away guy. Yeah. I see. I remember that guy. I remember he actually did a video on Yahoo, and Yahoo let him do it, which means Yahoo's starting to pick up. I think Yahoo might be trying to dig into the sort of conservative market, because I think the conservative market's starting to grow. I remember like 5 years ago, if you said anything like bad about certain behaviors, you were instantly labeled just a bigot. Now you still are today, but a lot of people are starting to really come around to this. We're conservatives right about some things, and I am very skeptical of the whole sexual revolution, all the stuff, and a lot of people would probably say about the sort of moral, the sort of moral fiber of society starting to slowly degrade, and it's stuff like that somewhat worries me. And I know a lot of people are going, you're just saying that because you're a virgin, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm a virgin, but that doesn't really affect the validity of my claims or the soundness of my claims. If I wanted sex, all I'd have to, it would just take a simple drive to Clark County, and I could, and a simple $400 payment or a couple $100 payment. I don't know how much it is down in Clark. I would never do it though. I would never go to like the bunny. They have that's weird in Clark County. That is like the only county in America where prostitution is actually legal. They have the bunny ranches and stuff. I've been to Las Vegas before, and you go around and you have all these ads for like women and stuff. I thought it was like stripper ads. It's actually ads for women prostitutes. And men will go there, rent time with a prostitute, have sex with her, and that's the business. And Clark County is, I don't know why. I would have to look up, do like research on the history of Clark County to see why prostitution's legal there, because I do know in like certain places in the Midwest. No, I agree, but I think there are good people in the world. We just tend to hear about the messed up ones. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I do think that the overall the world is, probably. Well, here's my thing on you. You said you think society is deteriorating because you're a virgin. LOL, what? You said that you think society is deteriorating because you're a virgin. LOL, what? Oh, no. I think that that's not exactly what I said. I think you may have misunderstood me. I was trying to say something completely different. I think it may have come out of my mouth differently. What I was trying to say is that people would say that I thought somebody was coming in here. I don't have any locks on my door. That doesn't make sense. I know that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say that I personally believe that society sexual morality is degrading, and I think they would say, and they would like. I was trying to say that they would probably insult me and try to, throw off and try to, disregard my argument because they'd say I'm like a virgin because I'm a virgin, but it shouldn't be shoved in everyone. What happens, but I think this is a good point right here. Let me show this here. What happens behind closed doors between two consenting adults is fine, but it shouldn't be shoved in everyone's face like it seems to be. I do agree with that statement. I do think that when people whatever, like you go to the gay pride parades, it's just like you have people dancing around in BDSM clothes and leather masks, whips, and assless chaps and stuff along those lines, and it's just like. And the one thing that made me really, really disgusted was there was a kid, 7 or 8, dancing, twerking around all these gay dancing out in the field, like he was like, 20 something, and that just made that about made me want to throw up. It was just disgusting. And it seems like it's like we should go, they're wanting to just go full in. Exactly, Daniel. Heterosexuals don't tend to go around everyone telling they're straight. Yeah, because this is also somewhat controversial to say. Homosexuality, let me try to say this again. Heterosexuality is the norm, and I think it should stay the norm. Homosexuality is not, while I don't think it should be prosecuted, I also don't think it should be something that should be, not accepted as the norm, but that's not what I meant was going to say, but something that shouldn't be, why don't I try to say this right? That Desmond is an amazing kid. Yeah. It shouldn't be something that is celebrated. That's something I should be. I mean, who you like to sexually pleasure yourself with is not really important in the long run. And I know that homosexuals have been prosecuted in the past and have been arrested, but none of that stuff really matters to me. I mean, because you're DarkCon's back. So because your people were once, let me add him back to the stream. So because your people were once, prosecuted, that gives you the right to dance out in the street in BDSM clothes like a freaking lunatic because it's Gay Pride Month. No, that's not an excuse. That's not really an excuse. You don't, just because, I don't care how you're prosecuted. It doesn't really, it's just, I was telling you. Let me explain the context of why I'm saying this, DarkCon. I was talking about the I was talking about the sexual degradation of society and how I don't like people. I don't think it's good that LGBTQ people are dancing around in BDSM clothes and stuff. Or that getting kids involved with it. Ugh, I don't even like saying that. That's just. By the way, this is not This is not child's content. Again, I want to reiterate that this is not child's content. All right.
Yes, children fuck off very meanly.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen the Drag Kids stuff? One person said, "Have you seen the Drag Kids Story Hour? That stuff is crazy." Yeah, I've seen the Drag Kids Story Hour. I need to do more research on it. I mean, Hunter Avalone did a video on it. I don't like Hunter Avalone, but I agree with him on this one. I don't think it's good to have a drag kid. I think there was one story of where they allowed a drag queen into the room who had actually been accused of child molestation, and that's. I could be wrong. No slander, please. Don't arrest me for slander or sue me. But that's what I heard, and that's absolutely and if that's true, that really scares me and creeps me out and disgusts me, because you're allowing somebody who's willing to do that to a child around children, just so you can be politically correct. No, that's horrible. All right. Did you hear about that Drag Queen Story Hour, DarkCon?
No, I don't think I have, but I have heard similar enough stories of children getting way too mixed up in the overly sexualized portion of the LGBT movement. I mean, I can't remember the drag queen's name, but no, not Shiny. There's some drag kid that was with a drag queen, and it was a freaking dude too, and that was the picture that was shown by Humane Mind when he was arguing with us about pedophilia supposedly being tied to the LGBT community, and LGBT community being complicit, if not supportive of the shit.
There are communities of pedophiles. I don't like this subject, but there are communities of pedophiles who are trying to get themselves involved under the umbrella of LGBT, and at least most people in the LGBTQ community are sane enough to say, "Get the heck out," because many of these people have been molested themselves, and they can't stand these people as any sane person would be like, and they kick him and they just kick him and they kick him out, which is, I commend them for that. But how long is that going to last? I mean, if you look at the history of the Roman Empire, I mean, one of the emperors was having while he took a bath, was having kids nibble at his inner thighs. That what? My dad is telling me to pull my truck in. All right. Okay, Darkon, can you keep everybody entertained for like a few minutes while I go pull my truck in? It'll take like 2 seconds.
Sure. Don't know how much I can do that, but I guess
talk
I
about
can try
what
my best.
I know you already talked about this, but talk about any future videos that may be coming up.
All right.
All right.
Well,
be right back.
Anyway, see you in a bit. Anyway, biggest reason why I was saying that to Aspie is because I cannot really see the freaking chat with the browser up, with the StreamYard link up on my phone, pulled up on my phone, so I can keep on streaming here. I will give StreamYard some credit, by the way, that, hey, at least it's easier to, what was I going to say? At least it's easier to join live streams on your cell phone with StreamYard as compared to Google Hangouts. Like Google Hangouts, it was a bitch to try and join any streams on your phone with the Google Hangouts program. So maybe the fact that Google Hangouts became obscure and no longer supported, that might be a saving grace. That might be a good thing ultimately. But anyway, let me see very quickly what's going on with the chat to keep you all amused. Sorry folks here. Trying to get my phone plugged in because I did not get it fully charged before I joined the stream. Oh jeez. Okay. So I don't know if I'm seeing anything new. Have you seen the drag kid story hour? That stuff is crazy. I think we already talked about that. Yeah, you're kind of right, but not accused, convicted, and the library did no background checks. It's a library in Texas, Houston, or Austin. Can't remember. It's probably more likely Austin because I know that Austin is one of the more blue districts in Texas. I mean, just assuming anyways. I don't like it either, but I feel like it's something people should be aware of. All right. So, anyway, as far as video projects go, I don't know if there's anything much to say. I mean, 2020 with the new COPPA rulings, that's going to bring a format change to my channel. Personally, I don't know how it's going to affect Aspie, but me personally, I typically have like gameplay footage going in the background of my videos and some music, and because of the gameplay footage alone and the fact that I use an animated avatar of myself in my videos, that might fall under COPPA's rather vague guidelines of what is considered child-friendly or child-intended anyways. So that's kind of a concern for me. Aspie doesn't really have anything like that. Because of that, I might have to stop doing response videos, at least on YouTube anyways, and just do like kind of boring news streams or whatever. What kind of cookies are you making, says Red Feather? Chocolate chip, semi-sweet chocolate chip. Taco soup, y'all. Delicious. Can't you age restrict it? Yeah, we can. Like, I can still like put a setting on my videos to where that I say that they're not intended for children. But thing is, FTC can go in and see that video and be thinking a different opinion that no, you were really intending that video for children. So therefore, we're going to give you a fine based off of their guidelines. It is some baloney, some malarkey. Well, that's weird. What's the point of age restriction then? I don't know. They're probably somewhat trying to compensate for the fact that children lie and pretend that they're adults to try and watch videos, but still. A contact Biden. I hear he doesn't like malarkey. Yeah, I used some older slang for bullshit right there. Sue me. DarkCon being a boomer. Okay. Hopefully Aspie gets back soon. I wanted to ask him something about his upcoming projects.
I'm back. How you doing?
Doing all right. I was trying to keep the attention of the audience, and in fact, my phone is actually down to 18%. It's kind of almost dead. I think that maybe I should leave at some point soon. But yeah,
sure.
one question though. How's that? 2 steps behind. Yeah, 2 steps behind. Def Leppard video doing.
Oh, it's going good. I haven't started it. It shouldn't take me long. I haven't had time, so I've been putting that off. But I need to. I'll do it as soon as I can. It'll probably take me a while to to record all the different parts, edit the audio, edit the video, and put it up. But it'll be up It'll be up eventually. Most probably near the beginning of January, it should be up.
All
right.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to another music video. By the way, what do you think of my facial hair? Better with or without?
Better with or without? I really can't. Well, it hides all your blemishes, so I think it might be better. Makes you look more masculine. You look very
well. Well, thanks. No homo, by the way.
No homo. No homo. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to get some other people in here. Loudmouth said he might come in here. I'm surprised S-Man hasn't jumped in here yet.
Did he say that he was actually going to join?
He never said. No, I just put it out into the poor bastards. Let me see if I can get him in here. All right. There we go.
It's because you don't have. It's because you don't have enough exciting guests on. It's because you don't have White YouTuber and Gemini. No, I'm joking.
White YouTuber's gone. He came back for a very short time just to talk to Gemini. Then they both left and they haven't heard a peep out of them. Gemini will occasionally get on his Twitter and tweet something out, but it's pretty rare.
He deleted his YouTube channel?
Yep, White YouTuber. No, the White YouTuber deleted his YouTube channel, but Gemini's YouTube channel is still up. He actually, one of the last things he did. What you're saying. Yeah, one of the last things he did was that he asked me if I could delete the video where he sexually harassed this one girl into leaving, Victoria.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was horrible. I regret not doing anything about it because it was just absolutely just horrific. He was saying all this, both him and White YouTuber, but White YouTuber stopped at a certain point because he could tell. I eventually kicked Gemini out. It was so bad.
Before the incident with Lapis.
Oh, way before, like a year before that ever happened.
Okay.
Lapis, that whole thing with Lapis got me in trouble. I didn't even think it was that.
Yeah, I was just curious. I mean, I did not want to bring up old obscure drama. I mean, it's 2019 becoming 2020, people. It's not 2018 anymore.
Maybe we should do what they do in Peru. It's called the Takanuku or something. It's like this tradition where all the women who have grudges against each other is but now he's on Drunken Uncle's main channel got taken down, but now he's on Drunken Pineapple. Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah. Oh, can you still hear me?
Aspie, I think you had broke up for a second there.
Oh, I did. Sorry. I am. I should just and White Gemini and White YouTuber again. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're gone. They're gone. They're never coming back. I think they got bored. I think they got tired of YouTube. with all its bull, and they just headed out. Maybe one of these days they'll come back in some different form or another. White YouTuber actually said that it was like a first time in a year since he actually turned his computer on when he last came back.
Mm. Sorry, who turned on his computer and
White
whatever?
YouTuber.
You don't think he turned on? I'm sorry, I was missing out on that on some right there. I was reading something on Messenger.
Oh, S-Man Speaks almost came in.
Oh,
I saw him pop up. Get on in here, S-Man. Yeah,
Cleanse the drama. LOL says Red Feather. I agree, Red Feather. All right, I'm gonna see about my cookies again.
Yeah. Yo, what type of cookies are you making? Oh, S-Man's coming in. I'm gonna bring S-Man in. Here you go. Hey, S-Man, what's going on, bro?
How's it going? Just a little pissed off at the new YouTube uploader. Whoever made it has officially made me more anti-natalism. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just frustrating because I thought it was uploaded. Turns out it wasn't, and then I had to redo the whole thing, and a little frustrating, but we finally did it, and it's gonna be okay.
You're talking about the fail of trying to premiere it yesterday, right?
Yeah, that was very, very trying to premiere it, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I found out, and I said, okay, I can restart it because I remembered exactly what I did with it, and now it's uploading, but it's it's kind of slow. I'd say it's about as slow as Rosie O'Donnell running up a hill, but the only ice cream truck. That's her motivation, but she knows that her knees are shot, and if she runs too fast,
at least it's not as slow as Tess Holiday running up a hill.
If Tess Holiday fell down the hill, it would be like the stone from what's that one movie? Crap, with the guy with the whip, Indiana Jones. She'd be the Rock from Indiana Jones.
If Tess Holiday and all those other people, if they stopped running for a day, infrastructure repairs in this country, the cost would be cut by 2/3.
Oh, well, they should probably get like an extra large treadmill or something, so she can, lose a little weight. Go on, Tubby.
After you said extra large, they just tuned out and heard Big Mac.
Yeah.
I actually, do you remember that movie a long time ago? It was called Super Size Me. The guy ate nothing but McDonald's for an entire month.
Ugh.
Yeah, Jesus. Like I only eat there when there's really nothing better to eat. Other than that, it's nah.
I practically boycott McDonald's. I practically avoid them like the plague. That is how low quality and how much I have disdain for them.
I only stopped going there because they couldn't get an order right, yet they want $15 an hour. But it's also
you're telling me in California it's like $13 an hour. My manager has told me to pick it up because of the minimum wage hikes in my dang communist state.
California.
Exactly, California.
I heard there are people wanting to recall the governor, although I don't see it's likely to happen. The dude won with he won with 62% of the vote. So
that is
I got a question.
What my state is. What? Yes, Darkon?
I got a question. Doesn't San Francisco have a higher than $15 minimum wage?
I don't know. I have no idea either. Why don't we go Google that? What did you say? San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco. For some reason, I thought I remembered it being just $22 an hour just for that city, but still, that's really the case. That's fucking ridiculous. No wonder why their cost of living is so fucking high, despite there being shit on the streets.
Yeah. Does San Francisco have a minimum wage over $15? Okay.
Well, what's the minimum wage of San Francisco? You could Google as well.
No, exactly. 2000. On July 1st, actually, it's $16 now. It's $15.59 in San Francisco. They're still raising it up.
Okay.
They're still and and that's a city, and it's their own city. They can do what they want to. I don't think it's going to have good effects. I mean, I did do a taught my economics teacher did tell me that that the minimum wage has two main effects. One, people who people didn't lose their jobs, but it also did not improve. It also did not lower poverty rates.
It didn't do a damn thing.
It has no effect.
By the way,
remember people, the UK is a right-wing shithole, despite having a more progressive minimum wage law than us in the States.
Switzerland, the Scandinavian countries.
I don't think you guys caught on the joke there.
I did. I just realized it.
What was the joke? Can you tell it again?
So Tim Horn, like I was talking to you about earlier, says that the UK is a right-wing shithole, despite the massive amounts of gun control, NHS, single-payer healthcare, and minimum wage. Like, minimum wage is kind of complicated in the UK. Like, translated to dollars, it's like, I don't know, something below $7 in between the ages of 16 and 20, 22, something like that. But over that age, it gets higher.
Yeah, I gotta tell you.
No. I'm saying like translate the money. Euros, I think I'm not even sure if they actually use pounds or if they use euros. But translate.
They use pounds. They go on the pound system.
Okay, translate the currency to dollars, though. That's what the minimum wage is, though.
I just needed to mock Tim Horn because I finally did watch your whole response video to him. If I had a nickel for every time that whiny, fat, neck-bearded incel whined like a little bitch, I would be rich. And then Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren would be throwing wealth taxes at me. By the way,
wait. You watched the entire response live stream that me and Conundrum did against him, or are you talking about the original response video?
The original. I haven't seen the stream yet. By the way, it's I'm gonna be.
It's long as fuck.
Red Feather said
what she said.
Yeah, Red Feather said if the UK were a right-wing shithole, guns would be legal, which is true.
This is the UK's. This is what anti-gun people in the UK think would solve crime. A paper that just says crime is now illegal. Because remember, guys, if 22,000 laws, state, local, and federal, on guns isn't enough, let's just add on another 22,000.
Did you just say 22,000?
Yeah, state, local, and federal gun laws, and apparently that's not enough. And then, and we could ask them how many they want, and since it's near the end of the year, they'll say we want a gun law for every minute there is in a year, and that'd be 525,600 gun laws.
Exactly.
But seriously, that to me is ridiculous. Like, you know what?
Okay, Philip.
But yeah, my home state has a flat tax of 4.95%. And they just recently increased the sales tax and cut the income tax. My hometown has a sales tax of 7% and an income tax of 5%, which, yeah, I like the idea of a flat tax. Steve Forbes did a video for PragerU about it, and it was actually really good. It's one of the few times PragerU doesn't make a really stupid video, like having a British guy explain to us why the American people must have a strong military.
Oh, really? You what was? I think I saw that video. Was it the one where he was explaining that the world is actually a safer place when America is the policing power of the world?
Pretty much. That was, which I'm pretty anti-neoconservative. I think the neocons have not been great leaders. Conservapedia, one of the few good times they have a good take on anything. They wrote a scathing piece on neocons, but they were saying, oh, they're formerly liberal, globalists, not sufficiently socially conservative. It was pretty damn funny.
But the whole thing about neoconservatism, okay, I don't remember where I heard it from, but neoconservatism doesn't just pertain to the military. I mean, that's how it's colloquially used, is that neoconism is applied primarily to the military.
Yeah.
But for a person to be neoconservative, you have to be for interventionism, kind of restrictive, or at least intervening in the economy, and restrictive on social liberties at the same time.
I think that
would be kind of more what Bush would fall under with his interventions with giving subsidies and bailouts to banks, big time interventions in foreign policy, and I think he was for traditional marriage as well. And it turns out, by the way, that the assault weapons ban that expired in 2004, that was in spite of him, not because of him. So apparently he, at least according to Don of 2 Plebs Suck News, he said that George Bush wanted to keep the assault weapons ban going. So, I mean, either way,
he wanted to keep the assault weapons ban going. What does he have to gain from that? I mean, wouldn't that hurt his? Wouldn't that really turn off his base? Wouldn't that have really turned off his base if he would have advocated for an assault weapons ban that Bill Clinton instituted?
One would think, but I guess not. Like,
I don't know.
interesting.
I feel like the issue of gun rights didn't really ever start really picking up until the late Bush years, early Obama years, as far as people's passion over the issue. I mean, for particularly those who are like pro-gun rights.
Yeah, like it's worth pointing out under the George W. Bush presidency, he actually he was the biggest regulator since Nixon. Nixon, he did a lot of regulation, and so did Bush, especially midnight regulations. I don't know if you. I was talking with ANCAP about this. Midnight regulations, every president since Clinton started with Carter, and especially since Clinton, every president who's just about to leave office does a bunch of regulations right after the election till they leave. It's not really a, here's some policy goals we should implement before we leave. It's mainly just a final flex of presidential power.
Yeah. Midnight regulations are United States federal government regulations created by executive agencies in the lame duck period of an outgoing president's administration. So it's like it's like a final something that politicians do, to kind of give the finger to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's also a thing called midnight judges. It's like when you're the outgoing president and you make final appointments to the judiciary. It started with John Adams. After he lost he lost the election to Thomas Jefferson.
Didn't John Adams actually try to limit the criticism of the government through the XYZ bill?
I believe that's what it was.
I know about that, but I know that Abe Lincoln arrested reporters for being anti-Civil War.
That was habeas. That was I think
habeas corpus. He suspended habeas corpus.
Yeah, which I think is allowed during war times. They may consider it like a necessary precaution, so that because when you're at war, circumstances change, and you need to. I know S-Man's a libertarian. He may not agree with this, but I do think at certain times, if you're at war with another country and it's like a really important war, I do think suspension of habeas corpus might be a necessary evil. What do you think?
I think that could potentially set up a bad precedent. I mean, in terms of executive power, and I think that I wouldn't be surprised if this ever happens again. I wouldn't be surprised if there'll be huge demands to curb in presidential power. Go ahead, Darkon.
My answer is simple. No.
No, you don't. You think people should be allowed to protest and put a war in jeopardy because, well, depends on the war. But I'm kind of
that's kind of the problem. Is
it depends on what scale and what power that the protests have or whatever. But yeah, I believe that people should be allowed to speak out and protest the war if they really disapprove.
Yeah, my concern is the whole depending on a war is how do we objectively determine those factors? Because if it's like Vietnam, I mean that was a losing fight, and I'm just gonna be completely honest. If we really wanted to win that, we shouldn't have been fighting it with our hands behind our back, or other conflicts that there probably. I wouldn't be surprised if there were those who consider every war to be bad. Like me and Darkon, we're not anti-war in all circumstances. Like I've always said that if you bomb the United States, then that'll be the last thing you ever do because that's related to self-defense. And I've justified Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and I'm actually surprised by how many leftists agreed with that. I really was shocked.
How many of them agreed with the bombing of Nagasaki?
Or quite a handful, but they're more like social democrats with an internationalist bent.
I see.
makes
So there are
sense.
people who believe that that Japan was a fascist country at that point. So it makes sense that they would agree with that. Punch the Nazis, or punch the Japanese the Japanese despots, because the military actually had control of the country at that point rather than the actual government. For a long time, Japan had a democratic government, just like pretty similar to America's or Europe. A prime minister system with a prime minister, but they still had an emperor, a constitutional monarchy, something similar to that.
Yeah, and
by the way, you know what's more outraging than freaking PragerU is freaking Lauren Chen basically making apologisms and saying that it's practically all right that people be stealing certain statues from churches that she thinks are, like, I don't know, being sinful in their idolization or whatever. I mean, did you see that response video from Rational Outlaw?
I haven't had the chance to see. I didn't even pop up on my notifications.
Watch it. Watch it. You are going to be raging red hot pissed at Lauren Chen, but just by watching it.
Look at this thing. This is what I got for Christmas.
The hell is that?
Cool.
Oh.
Spy on the neighbors with this thing. I'm joking. You can't. The camera is actually, it uses Wi-Fi, and the camera. So I actually bought another drone very short after I got this for Christmas, because it's a long story. But anyway, is that what you got for Christmas, Darkon?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't even like a Christmas present from a family or a family member or friend. Well, I consider him somewhat of a friend, but anyway, it was basically an Employee of the Year reward from my boss.
I see. That's really not. Does he know about your YouTube channel, or?
No, he does. I talk about it a whole lot of the time, probably a little bit more than. Well, actually, no. I talk about it a fair amount of time when I'm on the job.
I see.
I got these new headphones. Had some
over
like
half the people.
Year.
I can't talk to a lot of my colleagues about my YouTube channel because I was an art student, so it's music student. So yeah, but now I'm an accounting student, and that may be a lot more mixed politically. I was actually a political science major for a little while, but I kind of gave that up because when I figured out there was no money in it. The only reason why I had a second major is so I could have a stable second career, and accounting's like the most, because everybody needs an accountant, because let's face it, nobody likes doing their taxes. So I always have to, so I'm always, the libertarian right there. He does not like taxes. No taxes. Taxation's theft. Shadow with me. Taxation is theft. Taxation is theft. All right, I'm done.
No, but seriously, one thing I also don't like about some taxes is some of them are actually extremely hypocritical when you think about it. Like whether you drink caffeine or not, there is a sugar tax in some parts of the country. And look at Philadelphia, 3 cents per ounce. It's actually the largest soda tax in the country.
What city is that?
Philadelphia.
They have a soda tax? Dang.
Yeah, 3 cents per ounce. And then there's I think it was, I don't know if it was Seattle or some city on the West Coast.
How many ounces is in a liter?
What the fuck was it? This is 12 ounces. I'd have to. How many ounces is in a liter? I can't remember. 33.81 fluid ounces is 1 liter.
60 something cent. I guess that would be like 90 something cents.
Let me see. Okay, 3 cents times 33.
He's doing math, people. Be patient.
By the way, guys, remember.
Back to you too.
By the way, remember. Despite him wanting to put special taxes on luxuries, that being sodas, of course, and advocating for gun control, Michael Bloomberg is a libertarian. That's another reference to Tim Horn, by the way.
I figured, because
this guy's not very. That guy's not very smart, is he?
No, I'm convinced that I am convinced that he is exactly why they put warnings about secondhand smoke. Anyway, no.
He was the type of guy who gets the special seat on the short bus, huh?
Yeah, the one up front. So he's the first one to get off. So everyone just sits to the back, and he's the only one up front. And the school bus driver's like, "Can I drive from the back?" But no. The thing though about soda taxes or some sin taxes is how the money that comes in and what they do with it. Because Philadelphia, the mayor says this was what he wanted to do: universal pre-K, some investment on jobs and other things with this soda tax. It was supposed to bring about $7 million. It only brought in about $2 million. So his numbers were just flat out wrong. If you're wanting to get people off of soda, then you're going to hope that the revenue from the soda tax dries up. But in this case, in order to keep paying for these programs, you're going to need people to do more of what you were trying to get them to stop doing. So it defeats the whole purpose. If you're wanting people to stop using these
I have a proposition. Yeah, exactly. In Australia. Oh, were you not done talking? My apologies. I always interrupt.
No. I was just wrapping that up. Go ahead.
I'm really sorry. Anyway, I always interrupt people, and I always feel very rude. I know people consider that very rude because I can never tell when people are done talking. They'll pause for a second. I'll be like, "Oh, they're done," and then the second I start talking, they're like, "Okay, bad," and then I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I feel so
saying Australia.
Exactly. In Australia, on cigarette packets, they have pictures of people who are like really sick, who have like cancer and stuff, like picture of people in gas masks and like masks and stuff that look really sick. And frankly, they're required on every single box of cigarettes to have pictures of sick people on it and warning labels. So, and that pretty much caused the smoking rate in Australia to plummet.
Yeah, because yeah, that's a good point to make. Because to me, if I was trying to get people off of soda and cigarettes and all these other sins,
yeah.
Oh yeah. So if you're trying to get people off of it, that's what I would do. But if you're going to have these sin taxes, I wouldn't pretend that you're trying to get people off of it when you're going to use the revenue from the sin taxes to pay for new programs. Then you're going to require people to use more of the products you're trying to get them off of. It's a self-defeating tax. But if you,
sorry, keep going.
I mean,
I was just going to read what she said.
Yeah, this is
I'm just outright against sin taxes in general. I don't really care what the motivation is. I have barely any room for compromise when it comes to those types of taxes.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I think it's fine. Soda isn't good for you. Yeah, that's true. To me, if we were going to implement a soda tax, if we were going to implement sin taxes, if that's going to happen, I wouldn't be like, let's do that so we can try to discourage people. Because in some cases, it does work. Because there was some reductions in some parts of the country, but in others, it didn't make much of a difference. But I think it had to have been Seattle with the soda tax. I think a Reason TV made a video about that. I can't remember, an article. But either way, I wouldn't be doing it if we had to have a sin tax. I wouldn't do it to get people off of it, but I would only do it just as a way to keep the budget in surplus.
If we ever have a single payer healthcare system, we'll have to have extreme sin taxes. Like I remember Crouton T did a video about a single payer healthcare system where he pretty much said American politicians have no idea what it actually is. And he went on to, talk
not even
about
Bernie Sanders.
The different systems that every country has. He said that England had a terrible healthcare. The NHS is absolutely terrible. He said that France has a good system, but they also try to incentivize you through government taxes and incentives. They try to incentivize healthy living, like through taxes on alcohol, cigarettes. You're not allowed to use cartoons for like candy or sugary cereals. You got taxes on soda. You're limited.
That's
like
so petty.
Extreme regulations on food, like health cooking programs in schools, which I actually do agree with. Kids should in high school, if we're going to have a public high school system, kids should at least learn how to cook good, healthy food but buy good food. And also they should learn. Yeah. And also, they also have, extremely stringent controls on, and also they subsidize fitness programs. So it's pretty so they're trying to incentivize healthy living. Like in Japan is considered like the best healthcare system in the world, but it's also because they're the healthiest population in the world. They eat nothing like fast food in Japan. You know what it is? Meat rice, vegetables. That's considered fast food in Japan. They have McDonald's, but that's also considered fast food.
They have better treatment of their cows and beef too.
Yeah. I heard in China their other form of fast food is dogs.
You fucking racist! Oh my gosh! I'm calling out Esmond Speaks for being racist against the Chinese.
We don't eat dog, and they got a leash hanging out of their mouth, hanging out of their teeth. It's just like, I remember a woman called. I remember I saw a news article that said that that this woman called the 911 on a Chinese restaurant because the food was terrible, and I remember just thinking, and I put a tweet out that said what, and I put like a quote that said, "Why is there a leash in my meal?" Yeah. And he thought I put that to a comedian. He thought it was hilarious. Yeah, but anyway,
funnily enough. There was some comedian, I cannot remember what the name of the guy was.
It's not for children.
But Andrew Yang actually defended the guy. I mean, the guy was like in his comedic skit was using Asian racial slurs, and Andrew Yang was all like, he thought it was inappropriate, sure, but he was defending the guy and thinking that it wasn't basically not a big deal. And I can't remember who was reporting about it. I almost want to say that it might be HuffPo or something, and they were like condemning him, Andrew Yang for defending the comedian. And then I was all like, if anything, you're making me like the guy more. I said in a retweet.
Oh yeah, this is what Red Feather said about the Chinese thing. Don't forget the cat's S, man.
Who could forget the pussy?
Everybody like. Yeah, I remember I saw a meme of a Chinese guy crying, and it says when your girlfriend asks you to come over to eat her pussy, and she starts taking her clothes off instead of cooking her cat. It showed a picture of a Chinese guy going like this, and it says it cries in Ching Chong. It was. I'm probably gonna have to delete this afterwards, but
no, just unlist.
Oh, come on.
It's not that bad. Who's close to me is going to see this? I mean, I won't delete my YouTube channel unless I become like really famous. If I start becoming real big, I'll be like, okay, this doesn't need to be here. Click. I know that seems like a cowardly thing to do, but it's probably the smart thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I was also gonna. I should just also.
I'm gonna rat you out, SB, if you ever become popular.
No.
But everyone that you're gonna try and rat out Aspie out to, they're gonna be like, the dark who?
Racist.
But as I just remembered, but yeah, after that whole debacle, because that was a very polarizing tax bill that passed in my state, I looked at all other sorts of taxes, and the thing that struck me was there were several of these I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats wanted, like a windfall profits tax or other shit like that. It's a shame though that Coolidge couldn't get the estate tax repealed. That would have been great.
The estate tax. We didn't study the estate tax and business taxes, ironically, and it was sort of near the end. I think I might have kept the PowerPoint. I may have forgotten to download it. Dang it. Anyway, I probably need that. So when I start working in taxes, I can just look it up as a reference point. But anyway, the estate taxes, that's like a tax on like your property. Is that a property tax or?
It's like let me see, because I trying to remember what profits, corporate profit, and taxes, and where is estate tax? I cannot find it, or
it's in it. Yeah. Oh yeah, an estate tax is a levy on. Sorry, an estate tax is a levy on estates whose value exceeds an exclusion limit set by law. Like there's like an I think you're on estates. kind of hard to did you freeze this, man?
Hang on a second. I think I know what's going on. Well, yeah, it's
Can you guys hear me?
Sadly, we can. No, I'm just-
Okay. Well, my camera was freezing up, so I'm just going to leave it off for the rest of the call. Don't even know if I'm going to stay on much longer because I'm at 12%. I'm constantly having to charge this phone too on this call because I do not have it fully charged before entering. But hey, S-Man, want to give us any sneak peeks to your Poor Bastards movie 2019?
He's frozen.
Let it go. No.
No, please don't feature Frozen in it. No.
Let it go. Let it go.
Aspie,
Can't hold it
Aspie-
back anymore.
Aspie. Okay. If you weren't at least a good singer, and if I was like in person in the room with you, I would rip out your throat right now because that song is fucking annoying.
Darkon's asking you out in translation. Anyway.
No, I'm saying that I find it at least tolerable because of the good singing. But if he wasn't, I'd be tempted to cut his throat.
There's one of my favorite moments in the PB movie is I made some initial edits to some original clips. I may have featured a YTP or two, but I may have had some tweaks in there, and it's gonna be good. Just so you know, Aspie, I did 2 YTPs on DarkCon. My favorite was the first one because of.
No, the first one was definitely the better of the two. The second one was, I don't know, it's kind of boring in comparison. Just a little.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes though was even pro-life biases.
Hey, well, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, S-Man.
Had me.
You might want to try leaving and coming back real fast.
Oh wait, I know what's going on. Let me close a few things.
You're
Okay.
overloading your stuff.
Yeah, I was also just trying to free up some storage because base.
You sound like a robot, S-Man.
Man, this is torture.
You'll live.
This is waterboarding.
What the fuck are you doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah, this is like waterboarding. Like, yeah, what the hell are you doing?
No, I'm saying this is waterboarding. When I say this, I mean your sucky audio, your sucky connection.
It wasn't like this a little while ago. He's froze again.
Yeah, and what I'm actually doing right now is slowly eating my taco soup.
That's cultural appropriation.
Hey, S-Man, can you...
Okay,
hey,
S-Man, I'll
maybe you should try...
I'll rejoin. Hang on.
He's going to come back in a few seconds. He's going to try and rejoin. He sounds like a... Arigato, Mr. Rapato. I don't know the lyrics. I don't know the melody to that song. Device is not connected. Okay. Let's see if you're any better.
S-Man?
S-Man?
I can
made it even worse.
At first I thought S-Man was trying to be dramatic right there.
Not once has drama ever happened, Darkon. I'm telling this is completely not with me having my fingers crossed behind my back when I tell you this.
Hey,
believe me.
By the way, very dead horses in the chat. He says, racist!
I know. I put that up on the screen for a second there.
Oh, I guess I wasn't paying attention. But Red Feather also says in the chat, domo arigato, S-Man robato.
That is. Again,
there's a
cultural appropriation on Aspie.
Your connection sucks balls. I cannot understand the context of what you're saying right there.
This is horrible. I wish his connection would...
S-Man sucks dick for a living.
You fucking wish.
Oh no.
To answer your question, Red, to answer your question, my state does have an
Holy
income
shit, Batman, you're still breaking
tax.
up.
It's a flop. All right, I'm gonna join on my. Dark Con is such a cuck.
You're going in and out.
I'm such a cuck because I voted for Evan McMullen in the 2016 election. Didn't you know, S-Man?
That's my hat. That's why.
You know what? Fuck this. I think I'm gonna save my phone and join via my computer. 1 second.
Oh, S-Man's joining on the add to the stream. Okay. Okay, is this better? Any better?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is much better.
Yeah. God, oh damn it. F for S-Man's hamsters. Well,
F.
thank you. Except I don't have a hamster.
Let me boot let me boot your computer self from the stream. There you go.
All right. There we go. God. I was gonna say something else to Dark Con as a joke, but I can't remember. But yeah, it was it was gonna be funny to make some more jokes as expense. But yeah, the Poor Bastards movie. Oh, there he is on his computer. But yeah, it was the Poor Bastards movie. I like it. On the second YTP that I included in there, I made some more adjustments, and so I may have added in some new sound bites and rearranged some others. So it makes Dark Con not only sound more like a jackass, but it makes him sound like he's more pro-life, less pro-life than ever before. Also, there's a certain word that you end up using so many times, you're like, wait. I don't know that sentencing would be so fun. Just like how I got Dark Con to say that his Twitter following is a whole lot smaller than his dick.
Are you having some well, you're not that bad. Your phone is much better, but you're still breaking up just a tiny bit every now and then. Is there? Do you have like having problem with the ISP or something in Utah?
I have no idea. All I know is that oh Jesus, it's just I don't know. It's something. I'm no computer expert.
It's probably something. You're fine now. We can understand you perfectly now.
Yeah, but the one thing we all can't understand is how Dark Con sometimes walks himself in on some of these unintentional jokes he creates. When he said he wanted to get in on some action when he meant in terms of responding to somebody, but it sounded extremely gay. Or when he
oh, look at this. I can share my screen now.
Yeah.
Can you
Bernie
see that?
Sanders warns against religious bigotry hours after Hasidic Jews are stabbed in New York City.
All right. Des Moines, Iowa. Senator Bernie Sanders, Vermont, who had relatives killed by Nazis during the Holocaust, responded Sunday to the latest incident of anti-Semitic terror by wearing a kippah and lifted a blowtorch to light a public menorah on the final night of Hanukkah. He's really trying to get the nomination. And it's something that's respectful to do. I mean, he is Jewish. I mean, I don't really have any problems with that, but in less than 24 hours. This is not, I really don't disagree with this.
It seems out of character though, because the guy is an atheist at the same time.
True. That he is an that does seem true. We're seeing people being stabbed right away. I mean, why would it be out of character to pay respects to people?
I don't know. For him to be participating in the religious garb, I don't know.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a bad look for him to wear the yarmulke because at least it covers up that big old bald spot in his head.
Yeah. I thought he was wearing a. That's different than the yarmulke. There's Nancy Pelosi right there. All right. The House. Remember when they impeached him? Senators send, if there's any time in American history where we say no to religious bigotry, this is the time. If there was every time when we say no to divisiveness, this is that moment. Yeah, blaming. I sense a little bit of Trump bashing, but at this point, Trump bashing is pretty much just the norm with the Democrats. They'll do it at every point they can in order to win the nomination.
It's a norm of bashing for them. It's the norm of bashing Trump is like the norm of dark con bashing leftists. We just expect it at this point. It's not anything surprising.
I thought you were going to say bashing is meat, but that's another.
I mean, that's just fucking true.
I thought you were gonna say bashing pro-choicers.
I mean, that works too.
That works too.
Or bashing the swipe right button on Tinder. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that.
The swipe, yeah, because sorry, not black.
And then Darkana sees the other finger because now all the skin's gone off the other.
No, it'd be like more like it'd actually be more like this. Not black and female, not black and female, not black and. All right. Anyway,
he'll make an exception.
Exactly. The latest, not female, but with a penis. Anyway.
What's so funny about? Oh my god.
What's so funny about a woman with a penis?
That still cracks me up just because of how you reacted, but the fact that he didn't see the irony in it at all.
I was so shaken up over the debate because he was so horrible. I mean, Owen Cuck-Donald. We haven't interacted with the guy in a very long time. We all just got tired of him, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I can live with it. I mean, I have yet to film the year in review because I've been waiting for the perfect time. Probably will do it somewhere tomorrow night, and then I'll have it go at 11.
Some of his we're gonna catch.
I probably will do it tomorrow morning, mostly because I'll be partying in the evening and all through the night.
All right. This isn't really an interesting news article, so I'll go out of here. But I always use the Drudge Report because it's while you may disagree with the Drudge Report, at least they give like both sides. Kim Koy, is this about what do you think the Christmas present from North Korea will be?
I think it's probably going to be Kim Jong-un saying to the is that just your Space Force, or are you happy to see me, or something like that?
A nuclear bomb.
More than likely. Although, what are your guys' thoughts on the Trump passing that the Space Force with paid family leave, 3 months worth of it, funding for the wall?
Paid family leave, that's wasteful. Space Force could have been handled better. Wall, apathetic overall.
Yeah, there was also there was something else in that bill, and I can't remember who said it was basically all of it was bad. Why would you do this shit? Let me find it.
Oh, Loudmouth's here. I didn't see him. Hey, Loudmouth.
Yo.
Hey, we're talking about the Space Force. What is your opinion of the Space Force?
Sounds like something a supervillain would come up with.
Exactly.
That is what Trump is.
It sounds like the crazy scheme of a mad scientist. At the end of every meeting on the Space Force, someone probably yells, "Curse you, Perry the Platypus."
Yeah. Although I do got to tell you something. It would be interesting to see because I kind of can see why you would want to do it, because that's the next battleground is space. Other countries will be trying to create space technology, and if you don't think America, I do think that America maybe should be above the board. I mean, S-Man here said that maybe the Air Force should it should have been the Air Force that should take it over.
NASA.
But here's the problem.
According to like an international law, it's actually a violation of international law for any nation to claim any space outside of Earth. Like for any nation to claim they own the moon, for example, would be a violation of international law.
You think Kim Jong-un cares about international policy?
I highly doubt Kim Jong-un gives a flying fuck about international law, yes.
Yeah, they don't even have television. They're using computers back from 1982. What makes you think they're going to get to space anytime soon?
Well, he according to him, North Korea's already been to the moon.
He gets there. He flies there with his magical commie powers.
Wait. Red Feather says some stuff in the chat. She says F for S-Man's hamsters. I don't know what that's supposed to be about. She also says, what do Darkon and S-Man think of Jacob Hornberger? Never.
Who?
Yeah, never heard of him.
Never heard of him, yeah.
Kim Jong-un dressed as Santa.
That sounds just terrible. By the way, okay.
Well, he's here to give food to all the good little boys, the girls and boys of North Korea. It just so happens that the entire country was on the naughty list, so everyone starves.
Yeah, but everybody.
Wow.
By the way, the whole so I'm looking at what it was all about.
Instead of coal in your stocking, you get a trip to the special camp.
Yeah.
Yay, summer camp! Oh wait, not that kind of camp. Anyway, $738 billion of defense spending. It included 3 months paid paternal leave, gave the troops a raise, creates the Space Force, funds the southern border wall, and repealed the Cadillac tax on health plans, and raises the smoking to 21. That's what the whole bill was about. So I think the paternal leave was the only reason Democrats in the House and maybe even the Senate may have voted for this whole thing.
Yeah.
I read maternity leave on anything, and Democrats will be stupid enough to vote for it, regardless of whatever else.
We will create a constitutional amendment that will repeal the income tax, but will include paid paternal leave that we actually don't intend to pay, and they'll vote for it.
I actually read a Hill article talking about this very facet of the spending bill, and basically that was the only reason why Democrats were voting for it to be passed, was because of the paid paternity leave. And here's my thing: see, I'm approving of the idea of paternity leave for federal workers. I just don't want it paid. I mean, if they're to ask for paternity leave, ultimately government will be saving money from their payment, I mean, while they're on leave. And that money could be used in other ways, like funding this program or that other program, but preferably for helping to try to pay back the debt ultimately. But obviously that would probably not happen, but it would still, it would be a short-term saving of money if a federal worker was to go for paternity leave. But here's the problem. It's paid paternity leave that they are voting for. Paid. Yeah. In other words, they're not only going to just be paid with our taxpayer dollars, but they are also going to be paid our taxpayer dollars for not providing a service at all. So that is what makes me outright disapproving of this. Sorry, feminists, but not sorry.
I'm trying to find what the vote was in the Congress because, in the House, in the Senate, you have more than enough votes in terms of the Republicans, but you'd need, with 198 Republicans, and you need 20 Democrats, and then more than likely got maybe at least 20 Democrats to get a slim majority.
How far in debt are we now?
23 trillion.
Yeah, but
son of a gun, we're never going to be able to pay that back.
Yeah, I imagine if you had a bill that would put crack cocaine in every school cafeteria, but also include paid maternity leave for every teacher, Democrats would vote for it.
So that the Senate passes the bill overwhelmingly, so it had more than enough
crack
votes.
Kids.
And as for the House, it's probably the same. So either way, that's just absolutely stupid. I would have, if I was ever presented a bill that fucking stupid, I'd veto the son of a bitch. But if it's overwhelming as they say it is, they probably have the votes to override. But either way, it's
be right back.
It's a waste of money. That's why I think we should give a constitutional amendment for line item veto power and require that you have to. If you're going to spend money, you take in as much as you end up spending, so you can't run these deficits. I fundamentally
be a balanced budget. That'd be more a balanced budget amendment rather than.
I mean, where would you reduce some payment in? Because it seems like that you would have to do a trade-off, but it seems like the government, when they have these massive spending bills, they never reduce anything else.
Never do they?
Yeah, the one thing that you cannot touch are either the military or benefits for the elderly. If you touch benefits for the elderly, that's pretty much just seen as
political suicide.
You might as well just commit genocide of the elderly in their minds, because it's pretty much the same thing.
I'm thinking with people living longer, though, a lot of these programs were designed when being 50 years old was considered elderly.
Yeah, that's the problem is, and that's why I don't I disagree with the idea of raising the eligibility age. Like,
What would
those
you
that are-
raise it to, like 70, 75?
I'd raise it to at minimum 70 years old, if not, and depending on because I don't know if the trend of people living longer is going to be curbed soon, because my
No,
generation.
it's not. You should read some books on them fighting the aging process. They're actually probably on the verge in the next few decades of being able to stop the aging process.
Because if we're going to keep these programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, you're going to have to raise the eligibility age for those currently not on the program in order to keep it solvent.
I don't really imagine there being a point where we can make human beings immortal. I mean, I do know lobsters can constantly regenerate themselves, but even they die at a certain point.
Humans will never be immortal. Like, even if we didn't age, we would still find other ways to die, in accidents or random diseases, what have you. But in terms of the aging process, though, is one big thing that most people don't realize is we're not like a car that runs out. You think that if you drive your car very much, eventually runs out, similar to the way we eventually run out in age, but it's very different. With a car, the more you drive the thing, the longer the shorter it lasts. Whereas with a human, we work the exact opposite of that. If we work like a car, then we need to move on and eat as much as we could. Quite obviously, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So basically, what it means is our genes are programmed to die. Us dying, growing old and dying, is not like a defect in our genome. It's actually a feature. It's specifically evolved that way to prevent overpopulation.
Yeah. I found a website, Aspie, where you could almost create your own federal budget. Every time I've gone there, I did across the board spending cuts. Like I got rid of the Department of Education, which I was great. I got rid of a number of programs that you could send back to the states, and yeah, there were some cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. I didn't affect the tax rates. You can actually if you want to. And then I ended up I ended up actually getting I was able to actually cut the tax rates by 5%, and still have a balanced budget. But the larger the surplus, the more sustainable the budget is. So, yeah.
If you just freeze spending at current levels, economic growth would balance the budget in less than 10 years. But the government won't even do that.
Yeah, like I found an article. I can't remember I think it was from the Heritage Foundation. I can't remember who made it exactly, but they argued that they could balance the budget using the Trump tax plan if you halt federal spending. If you freeze federal spending, you could balance the budget within 10 to 12 years.
Hey guys, they said Red Feather said that Jacob Hornberger is a libertarian candidate.
For president or for Congress? For what exactly?
For president.
For president. Okay, let's see. Jacob Hornberger. I'm going to go look him up. I know there's a sitting state legislator in New Hampshire who is running for president. The whole point of his candidacy is to try and bring more libertarians to. It's got to
be like the worst last name to have, Hornberger.
I can imagine that's probably true. Jacob G. Hornberger. Stop with the request Wikipedia. No one's going to give you money. Jacob G. Hornberger. He is almost 70 years old. In 2 days, he'll be 70 years
Connor.
old.
We have Connor joining the chat.
Hey,
Connor.
I'm talking to you. How you been?
Don't fuck around with Texans. Is that in bad taste?
Is that a reference to something, or did you mess with Texas?
If you haven't heard, there was an attempted there was a shooting in
I heard about that.
Oh
yeah,
exactly.
I heard about that. Good guy with a gun stopped it.
Yeah, but they tried to say, "Oh, that's not really the same thing as just some random pedestrian," because the guy was like he was like an FBI ex-FBI agent. So, but still, good guy with a bad guy stopped the good guy with a gun stopped the bad guy with the gun. So, still counts.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at the.
Still, I wasn't sure if I should have said that because I didn't want that to be in bad taste.
Of course, it's not in bad taste.
I'd say it's in pretty good taste. Okay, so I'm looking.
No, it was in good taste. Good, celebrating the guy who saved all those lives.
Yeah. Okay, so Aspie and Red, I'm looking at this guy's biography. This guy ran for, this would be his second presidential campaign. He ran in 2000 for the nomination. He then ran for the United States Senate in Virginia in 2002, and now he's running again in 2020. In 2002, he was only of three people on the ballot, the Republican and another independent. He got third place with 7% of the vote, which isn't bad for an independent. But yeah, when there's no one else on the ballot besides you, an independent and a Republican, you're probably going to get more votes than you usually would.
True.
So yeah, this guy has he served in the Army for about 8 years as second lieutenant in the Army Reserves.
Respectable.
A trial attorney for 12 years, and he got his law degree at the University of Texas and a BA in economics from the Virginia Military Institute.
He's got quite a catalog, got quite a resume.
Yeah. What was that other guy's name who's running? That state legislator. He ran for governor, and Gary Johnson didn't have coattails because he obviously didn't win, but he did help other down the ballot candidates do rather well. It was Max Abramson. He's running in order to try and bring libertarians to state legislatures, which that would be so cool if at least if a couple third party people got elected to state legislatures. Yeah, that would be pretty cool though, because even though I don't think there'll ever really be a libertarian majority in a legislature, that would be cool if they at least ever win enough seats to force no one to win control. So
the only way the
libertarian
Libertarian Party could have any sort of presence in the Congress would be if we were to revert to like a parliamentary system like they have in the UK, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So we would have the Electoral College, which is winner take all, unless you could somehow repeal, the Electoral College and replace it with something like the Nebraska Maine model, which I would actually somewhat look at. But the problem is the Electoral College, prevents, radical candidates. So I would.
Not necessarily, but this would be a very complicated and highly unlikely scenario, but it could potentially happen. So let's say there in the Electoral College, there's obviously a procedure what happens if no one gets a majority, like if there's a deadlock. So let's say that you had coattails and you were able to pull in members of Congress of your party or lack thereof. If you can get them to vote for you. If you have enough people to vote for you, you need a majority of all of the 50 states to vote for you in the House. You could probably win the White House, but I've looked at various scenarios and I've done the math a couple times. You could get from 27 to 30% of the national popular vote, and you usually could get on average around like 100-something electoral votes. So it's highly unlikely. But if you're able to convince members of both parties, I guess, in this scenario, to agree to vote for you, you could probably win the White House, even if you get third place in the electoral and popular vote. But it's, again, highly unlikely. But
who's some Senor Del Cancer?
Oh, that's he's one of the members of the chat.
I'm Lord Cancer.
He's been on a couple of times, but yeah, it's weird doing. Thanks to thanks to those who made the yet another political map simulator, because that's where I got the numbers to do the math. It's kind of fun because I ran a simulator where I had the Republicans and Democrats face a conservative party, and where they win some seats in the House and there's a deadlocked election. Yeah, you probably could get. But the problem is you have to. Only one state gets a vote, so only one representative will represent their entire state in voting for who will be president. So you'd have to get them to agree on who's going to cast the vote for who. If it's evenly split, the delegation, then that they don't get to vote unless you find a way to convince them to agree to support one person. So it's a process. But the Senate, that's where a third-party vice presidential candidate doesn't have a chance unless they place second or better in the Electoral College. But I think in that case, all 100 senators get to vote in this case, which I think that's fair, So you don't have 50 senators versus the other 50 not getting a vote. But then again, only 50 out of the 435 representatives get a vote in deciding who will be POTUS. But yeah.
All right, what I missed, my fine homosexuals?
Hey,
Darkon, stop projecting. I just basically explained how there is a I just explained a perk of the Electoral College. I'm not supporting it, but I just gave a perk about how a House election is hypothetically possible but highly unlikely for someone that's not a Democrat or Republican. But
right, I mean, I heard about that like back during 2016, and that was kind of the hope that I was having with voting for Evan McMullen. It was a very, very, very unlikely chance, but I was kind of hoping that it would be kind of split down the middle between Trump and Clinton, except for Utah, and that Utah would be the state that would prevent both Trump and Clinton from getting 270. Therefore, the House would vote in Evan McMullen as president, and the Senate, they'd probably choose Mike Pence or whatever as his VP.
Well, constitutionally, they only get to choose the top two candidates for vice president. So the Senate would have had to have chosen either Tim Kaine or Mike Pence for vice president. But in the House, they have the top three as a pick. I have the map open right now because I'm wondering what the electoral map would have to look like for an electoral college deadlock. But it would have been highly unlikely. It would have been so cool if Evan McMullen won my home state, but highly unlikely because 6 electoral votes. Like if somehow he won like a much bigger state, that would have more than likely deadlocked the electoral college.
Red Feather said, Darkon, or are your cookies moist?
Don't remind us of Lonely Wolf in that way, damn it.
What we can explain this? What happened with Lonely Wolf?
Oh dear God!
He's the first one that introduced us to the term "moist" as in a sexual context.
I see.
Okay.
Well, thank you
So
for that.
Yeah. I found what the map would have to look like. So, if
by the way, who is KJ Zana right here?
Connor.
Oh,
yeah. That's just my that's like my internet name. It's short for Cornsteoko Zana. I totally made it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's up, Connor?
Well, not much. It's nice speaking to you, Darkon.
You and I, the only two patrons of Loudmouth.
Yeah, I know. I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on Saturday. That was incredible, and I didn't even see that in theaters, unfortunately. And I do kind of feel sacrilegious for saying that.
It's pretty good, but I don't know. Call me a heathen, but I kind of think that it's just slightly overrated.
Yeah, Spider-Man has been used a lot lately, and frankly, I did like the one where where with the Peter Parker version. Who was the name of the actor again?
Your mother. No, I'm kidding.
Would it be Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland? Which actor of
the very quiet, the very quiet one, the slightly the awkward guy where he used to have glasses?
That would be Tobey Maguire.
Are you talking about Tobey Maguire from the Sam Raimi trilogy?
Yeah, I think it's Tobey Maguire.
By the way, I am a nerd, people, because I know all these Hollywood names here.
We can tell.
So yes, S-Man, I am a nerd. I've confirmed your assumptions.
At least you're not a weeb.
Weebs don't have rights. Let's just remember something.
Weebs. Yeah, exactly. By the way, there's one anime which I'm interested in seeing. It's called Beastars. It's like that. It's like a sort of it's coming to Netflix. It's like the
S-Man is going to have to participate in call out culture against you now.
Great.
I'm calling out Aspie for daring to become a weeb, and because weebs don't have rights.
I'm not a weeb.
Because weebs don't have rights. The president of the United States will be ordering an extrajudicial assassination because Aspie has no rights. Technically, the president didn't break a law.
I was going to say that
he will put you in KB.
I was going to say Beastars is basically like the anime version of Zootopia, but it's for adults. It's very adult.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Look it up. Google it. This is not like the other. No, it's completely clean. I promise you. Just look.
It's not like Boku no Pico.
I'm back.
It's not.
No.
That's
so. What are we talking about?
That is as clean as Lonely Wolf's mind.
I've been working on a number of lists of what I think are the best films of throughout the years of the 2010s decade. and it's sort of like it's sort of a non-linear list at the moment, but I'm really trying to see to it that I put a lot of passion and really put some discipline into my list, because when it comes to making lists, I try to put discipline, make sure that they are lasting, and if I'm gonna alter them, at least I'm gonna make sure that they can still have some appeal and understanding even years later.
I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you a DM DarkCon on Twitter because I got the map done, but that's what it would look like if what you wanted at the time.
Are we
of
talking
that
about movies?
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking about an electoral map. I found the.
We're kind of all over the place. Connor was
Very all
talking
over
about
the place.
movies.
S-Man's trying to talk
I need
about
to
the
see.
electoral is trying to Connor's trying to talk about.
I'm just trying to.
Okay,
I'm
well, yeah,
gonna send him the message. Yeah,
Just
go
send me
on,
the
Connor.
message. But aside from that, Into the Spider-Verse, it had a very nice art style to it, and I liked the variety of different Spider-Men and whatnot. But I don't know. I felt like I could not get as well invested into the relationship between Miles Morales. Is that his name?
Yep.
Between
that's his
Miles,
name.
between Miles and his uncle, as I could between Peter and Ben in the Raimi trilogy, or Peter and Aunt May in the Raimi trilogy.
Fair enough.
That's just my opinion, though, and I felt like that the side characters were kind of underdeveloped. That being like all the extra Spider-Man in particular, like they introduce very quickly the backstory of each one, but they do not actually show them bantering a whole lot with each other. So therefore, it's not a whole lot of entertainment that we get to see coming out of them.
Hopefully the sequel will expand upon that, because for the time they were on, I was invested by them. I mean, come on, Nicolas Cage's spy noir.
No, yeah,
the jokes write themselves.
They were cool. I mean, they were cool designs and cool concepts. I just felt like that they were kind of squandered to a certain extent.
This is B-Stars right here. See right here?
My eyes are getting cancer already.
Yeah, it's like a anime version of Zootopia. I look at deer, the wolf.
Oh dear God!
Burn it with fire.
Okay, DarkCon, this is exactly where I have to say that human rights can take a back seat right here. This is...
All right.
Can I just?
I'm not interested.
I just need to say something right.
I scared him away. Come back, yes, man. It's gone. It's gone.
I just need to say a few things. Screw neurodiversity and autism pride. I don't need some stupid ass flag.
I did not mean to leave like that. Sorry.
I thought it was too much for you. The anime was.
I accidentally hit the leave button. Are you okay? You okay, Lord Cancer? You sound pissed off.
I just needed to denounce. There's this trend in the autism movement. The SJW, of course, the SJWs have hijacked it. Who else? And here's the thing. I would much rather keep the blue puzzle piece in the puzzle piece as opposed to some stupid ass pride flag. I do not need a fucking flag. Is it an SJW thing to have a flag for her cause?
I don't think necessarily. Is it an SJW thing to have a flag for a cause? Was that the question?
Yes.
No, not necessarily. No.
No, I mean, I don't see it that. I don't see it that way. I think it's I think it's not really. I can't. How do I put that? I think having a flag for a cause is so people, when they see the flag, they automatically know what the cause is about. Like if the ideology of DarkConism were to have a flag, and you believe in the ideology of DarkConism, and you're trying to get your fellow DarkConites to rally around you, that flag can be helpful, so people know who to look out for.
But anyway, I mean, what I think about Pride
Just
Month,
an example.
No, I got you. But what I think about the whole issue of Pride Month, I think it's kind of basically like celebrating a kind of arbitrary characteristic. It's like if alt-righters were to try to set up a white Pride Month or something like that. I think what would make more sense for gay people is if they were to like celebrate the day that the SCOTUS ruling of 2015 was officially passed through,
Exactly.
instead of having a month that is dedicated to being prideful of being this sex or that sex.
Or
I think-
Darkon celebrating his own homosexuality.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, Humane Mind is live right now?
Yeah. Yeah, this looks pretty cringeworthy, huh?
Oh, he's
There's-
live.
Oh, God.
Yeah, look at that. Look at Aspie's browser.
Dude, I remember. I think Humane made a response to me. I just haven't had the time or the energy to give a shit.
Oh,
Look
really?
at
You
it.
did?
I think he may have. In the description of one of his videos, it says correcting fake news about me.
This
and I'm
looks
like,
pretty cringe. This looks pretty bad, huh?
not as bad as one of Humane's music videos. That was painful.
Oh, come on. Well, he is he really that bad of a singer?
Well, his cover of My Hero was nothing to.
There
Jesus.
goes my hero by Foo Fighters.
Okay, I'm looking at the. Okay, he's live. Humane Mind live, episode 109.
All right, bye, Red
2019
Feather.
2019 might be ending, but trying to undo 2016 never will. Oh God, that is such a bad faith argument. But anyway, Humane has only been
I
streaming
don't
with
think
his brother.
it's. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily bad faith, but it is kind of a bad title in comparison to some of the other wittier ones that he's had before.
Yeah, well, I meant in terms of GOP talking points, but yeah, that's not a bad title. But I'll say this: Humane's only had his brother on for streams. I think he's alienated just about everybody, and that's kind of funny, but kind of pathetic.
Including some of the other ANCAPs within our circles that past associate with him, which that's fine by me that they would associate with him. I'm not going to play some GBA fallacy.
Yeah,
He
but
may- Sorry.
didn't he support racial profiling in the past? Like he's been criticized by various ANCAPs for
I'm
taking
doubtful of that.
taking pro police positions. I'm not certain if he did. I'm not saying he did, but I will say that I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he did say that among LGBT and pedophilia have a tie. That's what he had said in the past. I wouldn't be shocked if he were to defend racial profiling. But the funny thing with him is he's an ANCAP, but he supports a wall. Normally, most ANCAPs, hashtag not all, tend to oppose restrictions on immigration. He supports a president who supports protectionism, and I mean, he issued his disagreements in some of those. So credit is where credit's due.
Okay,
But
this
just
is
Some of them
kind
are funny as hell.
I'm going to grant this is kind of a funny title right here by Humane. Humane Mind Live 104. If the U.S. didn't want to get groped, Lady Liberty should have dressed modestly. Okay, so he's saying groped because apparently groiper is the term that is being panned to one of the sides with Nick Fuentes and the people he's like fighting with. That bit of conservative drama.
Nick Fuentes, that guy is just. Ugh. I do have some criticism for Ben Shapiro, not because Ben Shapiro, as much as you guys
Obviously.
probably don't like him, he would absolutely destroy the guy. But he but
I mean, I don't dislike the guy.
you don't. You don't. I
don't dislike the guy. I don't know if all my words came through or.
He's a bit of a neocon, but other than that.
Look at his other title.
He definitely was when it came to Iran, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Humane Mind Live episode 103. Groiper, I hardly knew her. God damn it, Humane. That's true.
I want to see how cringy the being of autism.
Is anybody
fighter-
watching it? Is anybody watching? How many people are watching Humane streams? Because he never has any viewers.
0 people are watching. I'm the only one watching, and he started 3 hours ago.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Holy shit.
Oh man. The only viewership that he had was the poor bastards, and then he alienated every one of the poor bastards by insisting that LGBTers are supportive of pedophilia.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah. He said that. Okay, so yeah, I'm the only one watching. And the funny thing is, he's only been able to have his brother on because originally he had Nate the Voluntarist and other people on. I'm sorry for that sounded like I said voluntarist. I meant volunteer. Fuck it, it doesn't matter, as Billy Mays once said.
Voluntarist.
There you go. But also it's a real Billy Mays quote. But anyway, the thing I found funny is after that others his only his brother, and his brother's a lot more reasonable than Humane. Even when his brother left a drunken comment on one of my videos, that guy is still more reasonable than
Inhumane.
Humane. Yeah, and that whoever did that parody
Yeah.
account of Humane, that parody account I take more seriously.
Brandon's
you.
No, I did not do that, Darkon.
I think it was Brandon. I think it was Brandon.
I think it's him, and if it is, then he's a fucking Chad. But the only parody account I ever did was on Shim, and that I was bored with because he's beyond parody, and also the real problem is
No, I'm going to be serious though. I suspected for the longest time that it was you. I thought you had even admitted it outright that you did the parody account.
I thought that was sarcasm, but yeah.
No. I literally I mean it was kind of sarcasm what I said right there, but on a serious note, I kind of did suspect for the longest time that you did the Humane Mind parody account, and even now I'm still kind of questioning. But anyway, it's neither here nor there.
Yeah, either way, but seriously though, I have to admit that parody account made one of my favorite tweets. I included it in the Poor Bastards movie because I remember reading it out in a stream, and I'm like, I have to include it. It's just, I'll read it right here. It from the Humane Mind parody, which leftist jokingly says, as a leftist, I can confirm he says. So the quote is, if I can find it, the left is to blame for literally everything. Feeling lonely? The left is at fault. Stubbed your toe? Stupid fucking leftists should have not had their head near you when you kicked them to death.
I just found the stupidest argument for autism ever.
Wait. In favor of? Or what do you mean?
Reasons we need autistic pride.
Okay, I have to go. My phone's at 6%. It's gonna die. It was good seeing you guys. I'll do the year in review on my webcam. See you guys.
Talk to you
All
later.
right, see ya. Talk to you later.
Where's the bleached salad at when you need it?
The bleached salad, is that what you said?
Yes. Or the bleached smoothies.
Bleached salad, bleached smoothie. Eesh. I almost feel like that there was something I was wanting to mention to S-Man earlier, but now I can't remember, and he's gone. I mean, really, the conversations really bounce when me and him are like in a chat or in the same stream together. And we get some people added on too. That's it. That seems to be the way that streams work best is you get the dynamic duo.
Yeah, I really like StreamYard. This is so much better than Google Hangouts. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You do have to get a separate account, but it takes like 2 seconds. Like I literally made this account right now, and you have so much more functions. You can show comments, and you can also control a lot more. I mean, you can't turn on people's camera, but that's a good thing because some people don't want their cameras on. And you can also you can do a lot of things.
Hi, Red Feather.
Hey,
Happy
Red
New
Feather.
Year.
She's gone. All right. Also, I might want to leave here in a few seconds because this stream's been going on for 2 hours and 12 minutes.
All right.
It's fine. What were you going to say about Autism Speaks?
I don't think people should be saying they're a horrible organization. Keep in mind the themes that they Sunset pulled were years ago, and we didn't have. I don't think they had as much knowledge as we do now. Say that you're a horrible organization because of this and this is unfair. Like, let's be real here. When the whole AIDS epidemic happened, people were quick to blame the gay community when it wasn't just us. It was other people too. And now we have so much more knowledge about AIDS. I don't think it's exactly fair to call them a horrible organization. Okay, yes, they've done some pretty shady things, but I think they do need to bring it to light and they need to bring it up and say, yeah, we screwed up.
Come clean. I see. It's what exactly did Autism Speaks do?
I can't remember what it was, but it's been a while since I watched some of their stuff. I don't really go on their website because I'm like, no, I still have my doubts about them though. But
now I kind of remember what it was that I was wanting to ask S-Man. I was wanting to ask him of what was the response that Humane did to him, just out of curiosity. Although I kind of think I have an idea. It's like the one stream that Humane did that's called Hippocratic oaths, I think was the one, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
And honestly, I don't really care because the guy was overall irrelevant to my mind ever since the one rant that I kind of did about him. That's titled "About Humane Mind," talking about why I'm deciding to stop associating with the guy and stop defending him. Because really, for the longest time in 2017 and 2018, everybody knows that I kind of almost borderline sucked his dick at every turn with how much that I defended him, sort of. But then I realized that in February of this year that he went a step too far. Really did. Crickets.
Yeah, since we're in the since this is the movie crowd, how bad was Rise of Skywalker? Because I haven't seen it.
Disappointing. It was disappointing.
Oh man, one at a time, guys. And also, I have something to say about Rise of
I found it
Skywalker.
disappointing.
Hey, Loudmouth.
I'm back.
We're talking about Rise of Skywalker now.
I have not seen it.
You have not seen it?
No.
I think Loudmouth told me yesterday that he doesn't really want spoilers either. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's time that I should go. We'll talk. Maybe we should all talk about it once we've all seen the movie. I'll have a when we all have a stream where we all talk about how we thought the movie was.
Talk
I
about
hope
the future of Star Wars.
I'm
Well,
hoping this one isn't going to be as a dumpster fire as the last one. Hey, I need to make a quick rant about the last one.
About
Yep.
Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker?
I think it was Rise of Skywalker, but there were unnecessary characters that weren't needed, like the purple-haired lady and Rose.
That's Last Jedi, not Rise of Skywalker.
And let me just say, they exploited a dead actress.
Yes, they did.
And if Finn had been successful at risking his own life, I would have liked the film. But since he wasn't, because heaven forbid, a black guy risks his own life for others, oh no. And
I don't know of how much political motivation there was behind it, but whether or not there was political motivation behind that decision, I still think that overall it was
There
cheesy.
probably was some given Ryan Johnson's overt political leanings that he's expressed on Twitter, I can say there probably was some political motivation. Particularly, Ryan Johnson really needs to grow the fuck up when it comes to handling criticism because, like, George Lucas got a shit ton of hate at him after the prequels, after things like Jar Jar Binks, and he didn't go on social media whining about it every day. Like, what was one time?
Where social media wasn't as
pointed out
prevalent.
when somebody pointed out the fact that the term Mary Sue is not a sexist terminology, that there is a male version of it, they usually refer to it as a Gary Stew, that it is very much a literary criticism.
He looks
His
like
response, Ryan Johnson's response was simply to say, bullshit. That's what he tweeted back.
I see.
Brilliant reply, dude. That took you a lot of time to think of.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that would have really really would have finished and done good on Finn's character arc if he ultimately did sacrifice himself. But no, they had to make Rose.
Yeah,
save
that
him.
was. Yeah, that was the worst thing.
And put that one cheesy ass line in there because we
Yeah.
aren't going to win this war by killing the ones we hate, but by saving the ones we love. I make myself gag just repeating it
I
myself
hate
right
that
now.
line so much. I overall thought the movie was all right, but that line is the single worst line in any Star Wars movie. Well, I haven't seen Rise of Skywalker, so maybe there's something in Rise of Skywalker that's worse. But up until that point, that line is certainly the worst line in any Star Wars movie. Absolutely terrible line.
There might be one line, but I'm not going to spoil it.
No spoilers, people.
Is
But-
it?
I
Is
will say to kind of answer your question, Aspie, I thought that Rise of Skywalker was at least better than Last Jedi. It's not completely not worth the view, but yeah, don't expect much when it comes to plot, but they do develop Rey a little bit better than in the other two movies.
Is there the line in there? Let me take you home and eat your pussy, like from Shark Attack 3.
What?
What?
I'm so
Shark
confused.
Attack
Sounds like that sounds like something you're in a porn film.
Oh, I had the line.
Wow, wow, chicka, wow, wow, wow.
I'm so confused right now.
Me too. Oh, he sent a link. S-Man sent the link. Oh wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. It's Hippocratic Oath.
Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah, Hippocratic Oath. Yes, that's the that's the one where he mentions S-Man. You may have to. It's a long stream, so you might have to pop through it. Oh, Philip Daniel says Leia Poppins is my favorite scene in Last Jedi.
The real thing there is they planned out the entire trilogy, planning for Leia to be the only surviving member of the original cast still alive in the last episode, which in retrospect was probably a pretty bad decision.
Oh, he also said something funny. Philip Daniel, he's the composer of mine. He said, runner-up would be Luke milking the sea cow.
I didn't mind that scene. It was kind of a weird bit of outer space goofiness. I actually kind of thought that was okay.
Considering Luke grew up on a farm,
better.
Considering Luke grew up on a farm, I could believe it.
Yeah. I put
But
the famous line in the chat. Like
Philip Daniel is one of your teachers, Aspie?
No, he's not a teacher. He's just a composer who I met on I kind of forget where I first saw him. Maybe he popped up in one of my comments section.
Breaking up.
He's a music composer, and the guy he actually just got a commission to write music for a podcast, which is really cool. Yeah, he's that type of guy. How could I forget? Okay, let me put this out. Oh, how could I forget thick shirtless Ben Solo?
Thick. Oh yeah. Yeah, talking about
that was just there for the ladies, you know.
Talking about how Kylo Ren has such massive pecs or whatever.
Yeah, speaking of pecs, I've been doing workouts in the morning to try and get bigger pecs because I've never had big pecs. So I've been
see my pecs. No.
You don't got.
I highly recommend that. Chicks dig really toned pecs.
Yeah,
wow.
No,
they really
thank you,
love
cancer.
that shit. If your chest is like really well toned, it really turns them on. So I highly recommend dudes build up your pecs.
Don't get implants though.
No, don't get implants. Just fucking hit those weights.
Some men have actually done that. Some men have actually gotten pec implants because
I don't recommend that. I recommend just you lift and lift and lift until your arms cannot lift anymore. Until you ache.
Dark Khan's mind has stopped. Literally.
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard of
Peg implants? What the fuck?
Look it up.
People do all kinds of weird shit to themselves.
Those pecs are not going to come in handy at fucking all. That's just like basically dead mass on a body that ain't actual muscle to help you lift shit. Like, holy crap.
Well, it's obviously not designed to help you lift shit. It's meant to
I'm buying that.
Just make you look better. Because, like I said, chicks dig them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the shirt I think he's gonna buy right there.
mean,
that's cool.
At
People
least
who don't want to do the hard work.
Yellow's my favorite band, so I'm buying that for sure.
At least with women getting breast implants, like they could they're gonna have like a further down reach for when they nurse the baby. Holy shit!
One thing the one thing I really don't understand are penis implants, dick implant. Not implants. I mean.
Yeah,
I mean,
some people want a bigger penis than what God gave them. What do you want?
And there's also another.
I think a lot of us just converted to Christianity recently. Apparently,
I'm saying, like Prince Albert's. Who the heck pierces their penis? Who does that? Who walks into a piercing store and goes, "Hey, can I get another hole in my pecker, please?" No. Iodine. Walking around.
There's also another penis enlargement theory is actually opening that little taint part in between your legs. Yeah, there's you can open it up and there's inches there's some muscle waiting to be spread out, so they will go in and scrape it off so you can get bigger. No joke.
Oh,
That sounds incredibly painful and horrifying.
And
Yeah.
you can't jerk off for I think 3 months afterwards.
look at Dark Gone. Holy crap.
Yeah, that sounds highly unpleasant and painful.
Oh my gosh, that is real. That is really bad. I've heard about the Prince Albert. I remember one comedian said that when he had a friend who got a penis piercing, and he says every time he gets a blowjob it whistles.
Yeah, but can you imagine if someone actually invented? You remember
Well, as Flo Rida once did say, "Won't you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby. Here we go."
Yeah, but can you imagine though if you remember those product Enzyte that falsely claimed that it could the pill could expand the size of your penis? Well, imagine if somebody invented something like that actually worked. Anyone who did would instantly become the richest man on the planet overnight.
Some people, one guy would men would just be walking out of the drugstore just swallowing the whole bottle. You know?
Yes, exactly. Men would be would be killing each other just to get their hands on this.
From American Dad where Roger starts telling Steven, growers will become showers.
Wow, this is really the kind of conversation that I wanted to dive into. Well, actually,
this is what happens late into every single stream. It just starts the conversations just start degrading into just stuff like this.
Pure utter cancer.
Yeah, only one person's watching this now. One person who's got the strength to go through it. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember when we used to remember that one time last time we streamed and we went and started going through all the everyday feminism articles. That was hilarious.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, we were laughing our ass off.
That's what I wanted to ask S-Man. I wanted to ask if he was going to actually feature that in his best of Poor Bastards 2019.
Yeah. What were some of those articles? The gender nonconformity of my fatness.
One of them was, yes, sex begins at age 0 or something like that. The teaching sex begins at age 0.
5 ways that polyamory is more difficult when you're disabled. I love that one. Not as many limbs to grab.
The animal one too. How activists are using human bodies to sell animal rights.
Yes, that was a good. Oh, that was funny.
Galaxy brain.
Oh, that one had me laughing up a storm. I just lost it at that one.
By the way, I looked up the story of how Odin got his horse. This one guy lured away a stallion by turning into a mare, and he stated then apparently the stallion got him pregnant while he was transformed into a mare, gave birth to the horse. That was Odin's horse.
Yes,
an 8-legged horse. I forgot.
Yes, ancient mythology is all extremely fucked up.
This
But the story about the origin of the Minotaur is actually even more fucked up than that.
I studied Greco-Roman mythology in my
because the king of Crete, I believe it was, didn't pay proper penance to Poseidon. Poseidon convinces Aphrodite to curse the guy's wife and to give him a love spell for the guy's prize bull. And she manages to seduce the bull. The bull impregnates her, and she gives birth to a half man, a half bull creature, the Minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
This proves that the writers of mythology back in those days had to have some sort of mental illness.
They were into bestiality.
The Greeks, the ancient Romans were a bunch of fucking perverts.
Or they were into bestiality.
Do you mind if I screen share real quick?
Connor, you were trying to say something earlier, though? You studied mythology.
I studied Greco-Roman mythology in 8th grade because it was one of the it was a topic that my communication skill teacher was always yearning to teach during the second semester.
I'll be right back.
Or actually during the ending of the first semester. And who could blame her? I mean, she really has a passion for that kind of stuff.
Hey, I have a question. Am I
Yeah.
really the one on this call with the most facial hair right now?
No.
Turn on your camera and let's compare, Jim.
All right.
I'm probably gonna get myself a clean shave on New Year's Day.
Okay, yeah, you beat me. It's like it's particularly it's thicker in the sides there for you. Yes, Loudmouth is the better man in beards. I raise my glass to you, Loudmouth, which is unfortunately empty right now.
I'm a Greek. My ancestors were Spartans, descended from Hercules himself. Damn right, I can go fucking beard.
We Spartans are the descendants of Hercules himself, told never to retreat, never to surrender. To the death and the battlefield was the greatest glory he could achieve in his life.
If I'm not
Fucking right, we were.
If I'm not mistaken, my grandmother is of Finnish descent. My grandfather is of Welsh descent. My mother's side is mostly German. Other than that, I can't really. I'm not really sure what my heritage really entails.
I'm majority Latin European, so Spanish, Portuguese.
Yeah, but there was another real fun, messed up ancient myth, Phaethon, the son of the Titan Helios. This is kind of an interesting story. Phaethon was a half-mortal son of the Titan Helios, who's abandoned by his father, as gods typically do, early in life, and he seeks out his father. And to make it up for leaving him, Helios offers him one wish of anything he could want. So Phaethon, being a fucking moron, decides to wish for the chance to drive the sun chariot. And
look at this right here. 24 gorgeous ways to add more vaginas to your home.
Hold on, okay. And he drives the sun chariot, okay, but he fucks it up. Mm-hmm. He drives it low over Africa, and according to this myth, that's both why the Sahara is so hot, because Phaethon flew the sun too low over Africa, and it's also meant to explain why the people of Africa have darker skin, according to this myth.
What the fuck?
That Phaethon burned them by flying the sun too low over Africa.
They cooked them a little too well.
Hey, at least it ain't as bad as Joy Sparkle BS saying that black people are poo babies.
Wait, what? She actually said that?
That's
really?
what I heard, anyways.
But yeah, I guess that was the ancient Greeks' explanation for why the people of Africa had darker skin than they did, because Phaethon flew the sun too low over Africa.
It's more ignorant than racist, I say, but still, it's kind of fucked up.
I know, but it's hilarious that was their explanation for that.
It's better than what Muhammad said about him, the black people.
Yeah.
He said that, but they had heads like raisins.
Yes, he did say that.
Oh, I'm not going to show that, Lord of Cancer. I want this stream to stay up on air. It was a whole bunch of vagina pictures of like vagina shaped decorations.
Yeah, that would get the stream taken down.
Like, again, this is not for children, people. No children.
Right. Yeah, fuck Copa. Oh, I forgot the end of that story. Because he was fucking up the sun chariot, Zeus notices what he was doing, and he blasts him out of the sky with his lightning bolt. That's how it ends.
Wow. Also,
Phaethon was basically a complete fucking moron.
You know what's funny? The ancient Greeks actually really had a taste for brown sugar, because they really liked black people. They actually, I remember, I thought one of the great philosophers actually really loved. He preferred women who were black. He liked Ethiopians.
I think that would kind of somewhat explain the reason as to why the Aryans thought that we WAPs are like inferior. I'm only 1/8 Italian, by the way. But basically, because there's like some black descendancy from Italians, and of course, Italy is like very close to Greece. So I don't know. Maybe there's some connection to that story and that logic right there. or at least the reasoning for the logic, quote unquote, that Nazis had.
Yeah, the ancient Greeks actually had a really good relationship with the Ethiopians, and I think some of them may have even intermarried. It was a pretty multicultural area. But anyway,
and then they go over to Italy, and so many years later, the Nazis are all like, "Your DNA is stained with black people," or whatever.
Your DNA has been blacked. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and Nick Fuentes gets triggered.
He's a racist.
Oh geez, you're 1/8 Italian, Dark Gun. How dare you? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm actually mostly German.
Well, congratulations, you can make it into the white ethno state. Well, actually, I don't even know if they're like it would be like exclusive to Italians, white ethno state.
I think I wouldn't qualify because I'm part Arabic.
Right, you would most likely not qualify. You said.
Yeah, I don't think I would qualify.
So wait,
Right.
you're how much Arabic?
25%, but
So there's that.
I'm mostly Greek, but yeah, I do have some Arabic in me, so I might not qualify.
Didn't you
So
once
there's-
make-
You're
didn't
one
you once
quarter
make a-
Arabic.
Didn't you once make a statement that you had Nigerian blood, or was that a joke?
I don't think I ever said that.
Yeah, he's
Well,
so there's a
let's-
25% chance you'll blow something up.
Or maybe I was thinking of someone else. My bad.
But really, you're 1/4 Arabic, loudmouth.
Kind of. My grandma was from Lebanon.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know that you said
Lebanese
before that you're like
not-
part Arabic, but I did not know that it was that much.
They're Phoenician.
What'd you say, Kinter? I was kind of talking over you.
There's actually the Lebanese are not actually Arabic; they are Phoenician.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not then.
Pretty olive skinned, nonetheless.
Right. I have a lot of Mediterranean blood
Right.
of various stripes, I guess.
You know, Cancer, I know that you've always said that that you have Jewish heritage, but for some reason, when I look at your some of the stuff revolving around your profile, you almost come off as if you were part Greek or something.
I actually do have some Greek in me. I also have Italian and Spanish, Corsican, Sicilian, Basque, a lot of Latin European in me.
Supposedly there's like Native American on my dad's side, and my great grandpa on my mom's side at least claims that there is black somewhere in that family tree.
Yeah. So and I'm actually 256th Native American, still better than Elizabeth Warren.
Yes. So by her logic, you can like claim your minority privilege, or
I've tried
your
that
minority
before.
card.
I have a card. I'm part of the Cherokee tribe, and I've actually said Native American on work on work applications.
Taken after Elizabeth Warren.
Exactly. It didn't work
Yes.
though. Eventually, the place which I am work now, I said I was white, and they took me in because
There was a great joke in an episode of South Park from a few years ago where this guy who claimed he was 1/16 Native American giving a lecture to this school about all the injustices that were done to the Native Americans. And then later in the episode, an actual Native American from space, it's a complicated, goofy plot, but gives him like this test to see, here will determine whether you were telling the truth. He was not. Yeah, they're like, yeah, I didn't think so.
Oh,
You're saying
I
Cancer.
forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you guys. I don't know if I told them. I don't know how many of you I told, but I got accepted into my college's honor society.
Oh yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations. I think I'm in that too because I have like a 3.77 GPA.
I have not
Yeah.
checked my GPA, and I'll have to check that next term.
Good on you, man. Good on
Thank
you.
you.
Keep
I
on.
haven't checked mine in a while. I've went to welding school, and I'm just sitting on a certificate that's not actually being used to actually get a welding job. So,
Do you even have a welding job, or do you work somewhere else?
well, I have a job right now that where they let me weld on the side, or they do have welding projects for me. But primarily, I drive a delivery truck delivering metal parts.
I
But
see.
I'm still looking to get an official welding job. And in fact, I think that for the next few months, as soon as the new year hits, I'm going to take a real slowdown on my content creating, mostly so I can like focus more on that.
Yeah, the reason why I'm nervous about people, I mean, you let everybody, Darkon, all your working friends know about your channel. Me, I'm always scared to have a lot of people who I'm with know about my channel because I know that many of them, like musicians, are mostly leftist. I mean, Philip Daniels, the composer, right there, is not. He's kind of a moderate conservative, but like there's this one guy who I sent one famous composer I sent my piece to. If he ever sees this, he'll probably, because he's from New York, so if he ever sees this, he'd probably want to cut off all ties. We have no ties yet. I just emailed his manager because they don't actually put their real email addresses because they'd probably be bombarded. But
you want to know why I'm so able to, relatively speaking anyways, talk about my channel to my coworkers? It's because I live in the fucking Midwest of where that people are more tolerant of other people's opinions. So you can suck it, West Coaster.
Exactly.
West Coast. I live in a state where the California invasion has begun long ago, and they're pretty much a parasite.
Exactly.
I live in Wisconsin. The only problem we have is the crime rate in Milwaukee.
And the cold.
Cold too.
How cold is it outside? It's got to be like in the.
It's snowing out right now.
Yeah, it's in the teens.
Although
it
was in the 50s the other day. Wisconsin weather plays like a wild card.
Yeah, actually, I will be going skiing here in a few weeks. We're going to Utah. To my sister. My sister lives in southern Utah. I'm not going to say where, but she she lives at a place right next to where there's a ski resort, and I'm gonna go up there with my mother. I'm gonna ski there for a few days. It's gonna be hard because we're gonna be in her house, and I'm not used to sleeping on a couch. I can't do. I always feel like I'm gonna fall off when I try to sleep on a couch. So I'd rather just sleep on the ground, get a sleeping bag and a pillow, and just lay on the ground. But anyway, it should be a fun time. I'll be there for about a week. Anyway, any other movies that have come out recently? I
highly recommend Richard Jewell. I thought that was pretty good.
Richard Jewell.
There are two movies I need to see before the year to kind of finish off my year ends. 1917 and Uncut Gems. Those two look very, very, very intriguing.
1917 isn't playing in many of my local theaters. I don't think it launches in Detroit till next year.
And it won't be getting a wire release until January.
That sucks.
Uncut Gems, I think, is I don't know. I think that's playing in a couple towns away from my hometown. Maybe I can catch
it's
that
hard
sometime.
to see Adam Sandler in a good movie, though.
Right.
From what I hear, this is probably one of his better roles.
That's not saying much coming from Adam Sandler. This is the man who famously promoted pedophilia, and That's My Boy, and yeah.
Or at least he glorified it. That's for one thing.
Glorified. Yeah.
Not to mention his
that movie is so disgusting.
Jack and Jill. I've never seen it. Don't want to. It was a terrible.
I saw it in theater. I saw it in theaters when I was that dumb teenager with no good taste.
But off of Adam Sandler though, my sister is actually going to take me to see Jumanji 2 sometime soon here. You know
I haven't seen any of the Jumanji films.
Well, technically it could be called Jumanji 3 actually if you factor in the Robin Williams Jumanji movie. Like
I've read the children's book several times growing up, and though I never saw any of the movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even the original?
Mm-hmm.
It's an okay film.
I saw the original and the remake with Dwayne Johnson, and now I'm soon going to be seeing the
it wasn't
sequel.
a remake. It was a sequel set decades later. Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah.
remake, if you will.
Soft reboot.
Soft reboot would be better to describe it. Yeah.
Kind of like Bumblebee. Kind of like Bumblebee.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. That's cool, SB. Where'd you get that?
I got it from my mother from my parents for Christmas. It's cool. It uses Wi-Fi, so it can't really go that far. It can only go like 120 meters out. but it's a good beginner drone. I actually went online shortly after this and bought myself a Mavic Mini. That one can fly out about 2.5 miles out.
In the words of Ralph Seppi, release the drone.
Hey, what do you guys think of drones? Do you think that they're good? Do you think they're an amazing piece of technology, or do you think it's just or do you think they're just pervert devices?
When I was in video production, we had to use them, and we used them for good advantages. You know, get aerial shots of our school, and just try to, you know, bring stuff over to another part of the school. It was just experimental, though, because
I heard that they're going to start making drones have licenses now, actual license.
Yeah, the FAA now has them. Although this one's small enough to where you don't need to get a license. The limit's 250 grams. After 250 grams, you need to get a flight license. But it only costs like $5, and it takes like 2 minutes. But at the same time, it's still obnoxious. If you don't get it, you can face 3 years in jail and a $27,000 fine.
The precedent is set.
Yeah, the precedent's set. But anyway, it's still a cool piece of technology. So they're fun. That's fun. Hey guys, I guess we can talk for about just a few more minutes. I was about to cut it off because this stream's been going on for about 2 hours and 44 minutes.
30 minutes later from when that you were thinking of wrapping it up.
Exactly.
Screwed.
Yeah,
You guys,
my roommate and I need to go to bed so soon.
When Chris Hansen starts investigating you, you know you're screwed.
Oh, fine. Oh, that reminds me. The last topic I want to discuss. Onision. He's screwed, isn't he?
Yep. Yep, he is. He is.
I hope so.
Why'd you take a
What I
seat?
can't get over is why in the flying fuck does YouTube still give that guy a channel?
Because YouTube is full of a bunch of retards that don't get their priorities straight.
Really? Like, I heard Drunken Uncle got his channel.
Yeah,
taken
that's
down.
ridiculous.
Like, what
Holy
the fuck?
shit.
I talked to that guy one time. He's hilarious. I'm really pissed that they took that on that
He's a
guy's
really
channel. I
funny
really
guy.
hope he gets it back.
Drunken Uncle, he's off YouTube now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gone. Like disappeared. Like they yeeted him right off the platform.
Thanos
Holy
stuff.
fucking
No,
shit.
they're from all over the country.
Yeah, complete bullshit. He gets taken down, but Onision still has a channel. What the fuck?
The guy, the guy who freaking groomed girls into becoming sex slaves gets to keep his.
That's
channel.
fine. That's fine according to you.
That's fine. But the guy who made a couple of funny jokes at some SJW's expense, no, we cannot have that on our channel. Hopefully, he has a BitChute. I don't think he does though. BitChute,
yeah.
we're all gonna.
Yeah, the same. Who knows? The same thing could happen to me tomorrow. They could. Some of the makers of the movies that I criticize could say I'm bullying them by saying their movies are bad.
Yeah. Well, the threads video was pretty good. Although that hospital scene, ugh, that stayed with me for a while.
Did you watch the full movie?
No, I have not watched the full movie, and I don't want to.
Yeah, you do. Everyone needs to watch Threads.
I think I get the point just from the couple of scenes. No nukes. No nukes. Although hopefully India and Pakistan don't try to nuke each other. That'd be horrible.
Yes. The connections that make society strong also make it vulnerable.
Exactly. People are too reliant on one another. People are very reliant on one another, and if all that breaks down, people have no idea what to do.
The threads of society. What happens when the threads of society are cut? That was the point of that movie. Damn, that movie is fucking terrifying.
You know what I'm noticing with consistently with the Onision videos? Every single thumbnail for the past 1 month, all of them just have him with at least one of his hands touching his face in some sobbing, angry type manner or pathetic type manner.
What was really hilarious was when they found Onision apparently made an anonymous account on Reddit to sing his praises, pretending to be somebody else. But because he's a fucking idiot, he accidentally slipped that it was him in one of the comments. He's saying he refers throughout most of it to Onision in the
third person as if he's talking to somebody else. But a couple of times he accidentally slips and says "me" in his place. Oh, what a fucking idiot!
What a fucking psychopath.
A psychopath and an idiot. That's not really psychopathic. That's just really fucking stupid.
And he's getting ads on his videos. This is ridiculous.
Right.
Just
what
the
was
constant
the-
videos of like a few minutes of him just giving his pathetic crocodile teary sob stories right here, and he gets ads for that. Whereas
Yeah,
we,
like that one where he,
whereas we, the little guys, are trying to actually put editing effort in our videos, and we get jack shit.
Yeah, well, Patreon did the right thing, deleting him for doxing.
I have to show you a Onision meme I made.
He doxed his ex-girlfriend. He posted her cell phone number online.
Here's my Onision meme.
Fucking bastard. He really should be in jail for that.
Hi, Onision.
Like, that should not even be legal.
I remember there was a meme that I posted a picture of from Onision, one of Onisian's videos of him on the ground freaking out. And then somebody put a meme of Ricardo behind him, making it look like he was getting
getting ass raped.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. It's like I posted that in Naked Apes old Discord, and everybody's all like, quit ruining gay porn with that pedo.
Quit ruining gay porn with that pedo.
Yeah, it's like, and one other guy said something along the lines of Onision's now getting blacked.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Except for Ricardo is Latino, isn't he? Like, what the fuck? Get your
Yeah,
racist straight at least.
Yeah, it wasn't his face, because his face is smiling. Well, I think that would actually make it worse. You know, that'd actually make the meme funnier. Ricardo's is back there behind Onision laughing. Anyway, with a smile, with that grin on his face. Anyway, enough about the meme. Onision is hopefully he gets thrown in jail. All right, this has been nearly 3 hours. I need to cut it off. I'm sorry.
It's totally fine.
That's fine.
Bye, everyone.
I'll do another. Bye, everyone. It was good talking to you, Aspie.
Bye, everyone. Fuck Copa.
All right.
Fuck Kappa.
Fuck Copa.
Right, there we go. End broadcast.